My wife is 20 years older than me. It's so cool after the flash marriage. Zheng Zhi, a university graduate with nothing to show for it, worked as a matchmaker at a marriage agency. Little did he expect to meet Lin Cai, a woman with only 3 months to live, who immediately proposed a flash marriage. Aunt, you can joke around, but don't play with marriage. But when Zheng Zhi found himself holding a fortune of billions and a gentle, sweet Lin Cai in his arms, he couldn't help but sincerely exclaim, "It's really amazing." Chapter 1, My wife is 22 years older than me. Zheng Zhi, let us get married. A soft, spring-like voice slowly reached Zheng Zhi's ears. Looking at the woman in front of him, he was momentarily stunned. The woman had long, jet black hair that cascaded freely over her shoulders. Her fair, smooth face had delicate and gentle features, and her eyes, bright and calm like water, sparkled with a serene glow. She wore a milk-white dress that perfectly outlined her flawless curves, and her tranquil, peaceful aura made her seem like an otherworldly fairy. Logically speaking, when a beauty like her proposed marriage, Zheng Zhi should have immediately accepted without hesitation. However, he had only known this woman for 3 days. What's more, she was already 44 years old, while he was only 22. That's a full 22-year age gap between them. She could practically be his mother. Aunt Lin, you're not joking, right? Zheng Zhi's handsome face displayed confusion, clearly thinking she was playing around. Lin Cai's brows relaxed, and she smiled faintly. I'm serious. Although we've only known each other for a short time, you should know I'm not the kind of person who makes jokes about life's major decisions. Zheng Zhi nodded. Even though he had only known Lin Cai for 3 days, he understood her character well enough. Aunt Lin, I've told you before, I'm just a matchmaker at a marriage agency, you really don't need to go this far. Zheng Zhi spoke frankly. Having just graduated from university, Zheng Zhi found himself unemployed. In today's world where college graduates were dime a dozen, finding a decent job was harder than climbing to the sky. After 3 months of job hunting with no results, he coincidentally got a part-time job as an emotional counselor at a marriage agency. To be blunt, he was just a plant. The agency would often boast about how many high-quality singles they had, attracting a large number of older single men and women. But in reality, it was all a lie. In order to prevent clients from leaving empty-handed, the agency would arrange for some handsome men and beautiful women to act as bait to entice these desperate singles to spend money. To be honest, if Zheng Zhi hadn't been in such a desperate situation, struggling to make ends meet, he would never have taken on such a shady job. So, every time a new client came in, Zheng Zhi would confess immediately. However, his honesty often led to insults and abuse. While others were getting renewals, Zheng Zhi was still stuck with nothing. Until he met Lin Cai. She was different from the other female clients Zheng Zhi had encountered. After he confessed to her, she didn't walk out in anger. Instead, she immediately paid for a membership and even seemed to appreciate him. For 3 consecutive days, she came to the agency, specifically asking for Zheng Zhi. At first, Zheng Zhi thought she was just wealthy and bored, looking for some fun. But now, he realized. Lin Cai was interested in him, physically. After all, men like Zheng Zhi freshly graduated with innocent, naive eyes were often favorites of older women. Zheng Zhi, I know everything you've said. I'm not afraid to tell you, I have a terminal illness and only 3 months left to live. I've spent my whole life busy, never having experienced love, marriage, or being held in someone's arms. I just want to leave this world without any regrets in the short time I have left. If you agree to marry me, all my inheritance will go to you. It may not be much, but I'll leave you $1 million. When we marry, I'll pay you a deposit of 200,000 right away. After I'm gone, the rest of my estate will be yours. Lin Cai spoke with a calm smile, and unlike most people who would show fear or hesitation when talking about death, she was as serene as ever. Zheng Zhi's mouth hung open, unable to believe that such a beautiful woman was on the verge of dying. For some reason, although they had only known each other for 3 days, when Zheng Zhi heard this news, he felt his nose tingle with emotion. After a brief silence, Zheng Zhi slowly spoke, Aunt Lin, I agree. Zheng Zhi's decision wasn't just out of sympathy for Lin Cai, but also because of the reward she had offered. Zheng Zhi came from a poor rural family. His family was struggling to support his education and still owed 20,000 yuan. His father was in poor health and had avoided medical treatment to save money. Because of their financial situation, his girlfriend of 4 years broke up with him when they graduated. If he had the inheritance Lin Cai promised, it would not only help his father get treatment, but it would also give him a financial cushion for the future, even if he can't find a job. Haicheng, Civil Affairs Bureau. Staring at the red marriage certificate in his hand, Zheng Zhi was in a daze. He never imagined he would end up married so soon. And to a woman who was 22 years older than him. It all felt like a dream. At that moment, Zheng Zhi's phone beeped. The deposit from Lin Cai had arrived. Zheng Zhi, from today on, we are husband and wife. I hope we can have a happy life together. Lin Cai still wore her gentle smile, speaking slowly and calmly. Aunt Lin, don't worry. Since we're married, I'll fulfill my duties as a husband. Zheng Zhi said seriously, patting his chest in assurance. Lin Cai smiled and tilted her head, looking at Zheng Zhi with a slight frown. Well, don't you think it's time to change how you address me? Calling me aunt all the time makes me feel much older than I am. Right. They were married now. If they kept calling each other aunt and uncle, it would feel like some forbidden love affair. If you didn't know her age, Lin Cai could easily pass for someone around 30. Anyone who heard Zheng Zhi call her aunt might think he had some special fetish. Zheng Zhi hesitated for a moment before slowly saying, wife. To be honest, the word wife felt hard to say at first, but once he gathered the courage, it felt like breaking through some invisible barrier. Hubby. When Lin Cai heard Zheng Zhi call her wife, her bright eyes became even more dazzling, looking so gentle and alluring. Suddenly, Zheng Zhi thought, marrying an older woman might not be so bad after all. At least she would be affectionate. Hubby, where are you living now? Following the idea of wherever you go, I'll go, Lin Cai felt that wherever her husband lived, she should go as well. Zheng Zhi scratched his head, feeling a bit embarrassed. I'm still living in the school dorm, but I'm looking for a place. Graduates like Zheng Zhi were supposed to leave their dorms after graduation, but since he couldn't find a job and had no income, he had to stay there temporarily. But it couldn't last forever. The school had been pushing him to move out, and it was only a matter of time before he received an eviction notice. Hearing this, Lin Cai nodded and seemed to understand his situation. Hubby, since we're married, everything I have is yours. You can just move in with me. My place may not be big, but it's enough for the two of us. Lin Cai spoke like a tender and considerate wife, and Zheng Zhi felt an overwhelming urge to hug her. Chapter 2, Mockery from an Ex-Love. Although Lin Cai's home had everything, as a thrifty and conscientious person, Zheng Zhi still felt it was necessary to go to school and gather his belongings. Honey, do you want me to come inside with you? Lin Cai asked gently. Thinking of his dorm, which looked like a pigsty, Zheng Zhi politely declined Lin Cai's offer. It was too much of a contrast, a stunningly beautiful fairy in a pigsty. He couldn't imagine it. Although they were already married, it was a whirlwind romance, and it was understandable that they still needed some personal space. All right, I'll wait for you outside. Zheng Zhi opened the car door, took a deep breath of fresh air, and dashed toward the school. Watching him from behind, Lin Cai smiled faintly. This little puppy is so shy. Back in his dorm, Zheng Zhi packed his clothes and important belongings into a bag. Looking at the dorm where he had lived for 4 years, a feeling of loss washed over him. He had always hoped to graduate and leave, but now that the time had come, he felt an unexpected sorrow. People were indeed complicated creatures. Pushing those tangled thoughts aside, Zheng Zhi picked up his bag and left the dorm. As he walked across campus, a familiar yet strange voice called out to him. Zheng Zhi. He turned around to see a woman, heavily made up, standing before him. It was Li Wanting, his ex-girlfriend, the woman he had once been crazy about. When he first entered university, Zheng Zhi had no intention of getting into a relationship. He just wanted to study hard and find a good job after graduation to ease the financial burden on his family. But Li Wanting appeared, buzzing around him like a fly. Gradually, Zheng Zhi fell for her and became an easy catch for her. For 4 years of university, Zheng Zhi worked various part-time jobs, spending every penny he earned on her. He had hoped that after graduation, they would have a bright future together. But in the end, all he got was her saying, "You're a nice guy, but we're not compatible." Why? Because Li Wanting found someone else, a man who could get her into the giant local company, Sai Group. Well, it's really you. I heard you haven't found a job yet. To save on rent, you're still squatting in the school dormitory. The more she spoke, the more pleased she seemed, a faint smirk tugging at the corner of her lips. Zheng Zhi ignored her sarcasm and turned to leave, but she stood directly in his path, blocking his way. Zheng Zhi, are you even a man? I'm talking to you, why are you pretending you don't hear me? She slapped the bag out of his hands and pointed at him with an air of superiority, verbally lashing out at him. Zheng Zhi didn't want to engage with her anymore. He would preferred to leave things in the past and remain strangers. But Li Wanting's unreasonable behavior pushed him to the edge. Li Wanting, what do you want? We've broken up. You go your way, and I'll go mine. Please move out of the way. Zheng Zhi's face darkened, his eyes icy. He no longer showed any of the affection he once had for her. Li Wanting was taken aback, looking at the unfamiliar man before her, a moment of confusion flashing in her eyes. Although they had broken up, she still expected him to be submissive, to fall at her feet. Zheng Zhi's coldness made a dark cloud appear on Li Wanting's delicate face. Zheng Zhi, I know you're mad because we broke up, she said with a huff, but this isn't my fault. I'm just a woman trying to pursue a better life. Look, I was right to choose this way. I've joined Sai Group now, and my monthly salary is 10,000. And you? You still can't find a job and are staying in the school dorm. Li Wanting grew more animated, trying to convince herself that everything was Zheng Zhi's fault. She was merely doing what any woman would do seeking a better life. Zheng Zhi couldn't help but sneer. This was the woman he had loved for 4 years, a completely fake and hypocritical person. What kind of magic had he been under to fall for someone like her? Are you done showing off your sense of superiority? If you're done, then move out of the way. Zheng Zhi picked up his bag and was about to walk past her, but Li Wanting, clearly not satisfied with his indifference, tried to block his path once more. Seeing that Zheng Zhi wasn't crying or begging her to come back, she felt uncomfortable. Zheng Zhi, you? Li Wanting clenched her teeth in anger, her face twisted in rage. Zheng Zhi, you have no shame, bullying a delicate girl like me. At this moment, a well-dressed man appeared, standing next to Li Wanting and casually draping his arm over her shoulder. Wanting, is this country bumpkin bullying you? Seeing the man, Li Wanting's mood seemed to lift instantly, as if her fallen spirits had been revived. Wei Hao, I just bumped into Zheng Zhi. I was being kind and saying hello, and he bullied me. Li Wanting played the damsel in distress perfectly, leaning her head on Zhang Weihao's shoulder, pouting like she had suffered a great injustice. Zhang Weihao was a classmate of Zheng Zhi's. He was also one of Li Wanting's many suitors. At first, Zheng Zhi had been the star student, too bright for someone like Zhang Weihao to even catch Li Wanting's eye. But as society's realities set in, Li Wanting had no qualms about cutting ties with Zheng Zhi and throwing herself into Zhang Weihao's arms, who had family backing and connections that helped her get into Tsai Group. Zheng Zhi, are you still hung up on Wanting? I advise you to give up on her. Wanting is now my woman, and she is not someone you can covet. I heard you still don't have a job, and you're still squatting in the school dormitory. TSK. This big city isn't tea for people like you. If I were you, I'd have gone back to the countryside to farm by now. At least you could find a woman there, help the old Zheng family carry on the bloodline. Zhang Weihao's words were dripping with superiority, constantly putting Zheng Zhi down. Zheng Zhi, once the top student and teacher's pet, had been envied by Zhang Weihao back then. But now, their genius was nothing more than a useless graduate who couldn't even find a job, while Zhang Weihao was thriving in both career and personal life. The contrast delighted him. Looking at these two people, Zheng Zhi felt no emotional stir. He was beyond the age of letting trivial matters get to him. Are you done? If you're done, then move out of the way. Good dogs don't block the road. Chapter 3, Gossip is a woman's instinct. Damn it, who are you calling a dog? With a casual remark, Zheng Zhi instantly made Zhang Weihao jump. He had been taunting and throwing insults, but Zheng Zhi didn't respond, which irritated him. However, a simple comment from Zheng Zhi made him snap. This was the difference. Whoever's blocking the road is the dog. Zheng Zhi said with an emotionless expression. Zhang Weihao was about to charge at him, raising his fists to teach him a lesson. But he was stopped by Li Wanting. Weihao, don't act impulsively. Don't fall for this guy's trick. Li Wanting said with a hint of worry. He has done nothing with his life, he's a poor guy. Meanwhile, you're the team leader at Cai Group, with me, an enviable girlfriend, by your side. Zheng Zhi just wants to provoke you, get you to hit him, so he can blackmail you later. You'll end up being detained for causing harm. Li Wanting's analysis immediately calmed Zhang Weihao's hot-headedness. What a cunning dog. Trying to play tricks on me. Li Wanting, you're the only one who understands this guy. He is so scheming, Zhang Weihao said, eyeing Zheng Zhi with increased disdain. Zheng Zhi merely twitched the corner of his mouth. He only wanted to leave this troublesome place, but these two had fabricated such a story in their heads. Seriously, they were sick. Zheng Zhi, you can forget about scheming against me. You'll have to wait until your next life. Zhang Weihao sneered. Wanting, thank goodness you're here, or I'd have been tricked by him, Zhang Weihao said, kissing Li Wanting. It was less of a reward for her and more of a way to spite Zheng Zhi. It seemed like a classic move from someone who thinks they know how to play games. At one point, Zheng Zhi even suspected that if it weren't for the crowd in the school, this idiot might have taken Li Wanting aside right there and then. Zhang Weihao, you don't have to do that. You've turned the things I used into treasures, don't you think it's pathetic? Zheng Zhi said, not wanting to waste more time with him, but seeing as the other party was looking for trouble, he decided to play along. Zheng Zhi, stop talking nonsense. Wanting told me everything, that you and she were together for 4 years, and you didn't even touch her hand. Zhang Weihao said with full confidence. He asked Li Wanting about this after they got together. Li Wanting had sworn to him that there was nothing physical between her and Zheng Zhi. Zheng Zhi sneered, shaking his head in disbelief. Zhang Weihao, I don't know what Li Wanting told you, but we were together for 4 years. Do you really think nothing happened between us? Zheng Zhi's words immediately froze Zhang Weihao's expression. To be honest, any normal man would have a hard time resisting Li Wanting's allure. Especially after being in a relationship for 4 years. Zhang Weihao looked at Li Wanting, and she knew something was wrong. Zheng Zhi had tricked him. Weihao, don't listen to him. You know what kind of person I am. I'm a conservative girl. My family raised me strictly. I wouldn't give myself to anyone before marriage. Li Wanting spoke with great conviction, making her promise that she had kept herself untouched. Faced with Li Wanting's vow, Zhang Weihao was suddenly lost. He didn't know who was telling the truth anymore. After all, since he got together with Li Wanting, she always presented herself as virtuous, claiming no one but him could have her. However, Zheng Zhi's next words dropped a bombshell. Zhang Weihao, looks like you really don't know, do you? No wonder, I suppose you've never had a deeper connection with her, so you're clueless. Zheng Zhi said with an air of sarcasm, his eyes filled with mockery. Li Wanting, standing beside them, nearly went mad. She had just wanted to show off her happy life in front of Zheng Zhi, not expecting to bury herself with it. Zheng Zhi, you're lying. Nothing ever happened between us. Li Wanting was panicking, afraid that Zhang Weihao would believe Zheng Zhi's words. Her hard-won position was slipping away. Li Wanting, why are you so anxious? Is it not true that you have a mole on your left buttock in the shape of a plum blossom? Zheng Zhi shrugged casually. Hearing this, Li Wanting froze. She did have a plum blossom-shaped mole on her left buttock. How could Zheng Zhi know about it? She had never even held his hand. Her mind was spinning wildly. In fact, Zheng Zhi knew this secret by accident. One time, he was delivering at 7 Degrees of Space product to Li Wanting and overheard her talking about it with her roommates in the dorm. Little did he know that this harmless piece of overheard information would turn into his secret weapon today. Seeing Li Wanting's panicked expression, Zhang Weihao, no matter how dumb, understood it was true. He had thought Li Wanting was pure and innocent, but it seemed that Zheng Zhi had thoroughly researched her, inside and out. He had been a fool, treating a used shoe like a treasure. Regret swept over Zhang Weihao. He wished he could disappear into the ground. Weihao, don't listen to him. There's really nothing between us. Li Wanting was no longer as arrogant as before. Now, with tears in her eyes, she clung to Zhang Weihao, hoping he'd ignore Zheng Zhi's words. Li Wanting, if you want me to ignore his lies, then tell me, does the mole on your left buttock really exist? Zhang Weihao demanded, his voice sharp. If she didn't have it, that would mean Zheng Zhi was lying. If she did have it, then it would mean Li Wanting was lying. Faced with Zhang Weihao's relentless questioning, Li Wanting became flustered, her head lowered, hands nervously fiddling. Well, yes, but. Weihao, I swear, there was really nothing between us. Li Wanting finally admitted, her face pale. Zhang Weihao's face turned ashen. Zheng Zhi had been right. If they hadn't done anything, how would he know such a hidden detail? The truth was crystal clear. Li Wanting had been lying to him. For the 4 years they were together, they must have gone through countless storms. Zhang Weihao felt like a fool, thinking he was cultivating a vast, fertile land when it was nothing but barren soil. Li Wanting, we're done. Zhang Weihao's voice cracked as he wiped a tear from his eye. He turned and stormed away, leaving behind a heartbroken Li Wanting. Li Wanting stood frozen, staring after him, as tears streamed down her face. Zheng Zhi, standing nearby, couldn't help but gape in disbelief. Darling, have you packed your things? Lin Cai had been waiting for Zheng Zhi for quite some time, and when she hadn't seen him, she decided to check on him. She walked in just as Li Wanting was crying, with Zheng Zhi watching with great interest. Wife, I've packed. There was a couple here fighting over a breakup, and I got so caught up in it, I almost forgot you were waiting for me. Zheng Zhi grinned, revealing a row of white teeth. Lin Cai, curious, wrapped her arm around his and asked with a smile, what happened? Tell me all about it. Her beautiful face now had the look of someone in full gossip mode. Gone was the divine elegance, and she looked more like the gossip queen from their village. It turns out that gossip is an instinct for women, and even the most beautiful of them can't escape it. Chapter for my wife's best friend. Li Wanting, who was already heartbroken, saw a woman who was far superior to her in both appearance and figure, clinging tightly to Zheng Zhi. She kept calling him husband and looked at the sweetness between them. Li Wanting's defense was broken directly. Didn't Zheng Zhi even have trouble finding a job? Why is there such a beautiful woman around him, calling him husband intimately? The slowly moving carriage was filled with a faint fragrance. Lin Cai looked ahead, presenting her flawless profile to Zheng Zhi's sight. The lively hair would occasionally fall at the corners of the eyes, making Zheng Zhi always want to help push it behind the ears. As you move your eyes downward, you will see the exquisite curves that are smooth and graceful. Especially the pair of long legs that were longer than Zheng Zhi's life, emitting a bright white light. This made Zheng Zhi, a young man full of vigor and vitality, feel distracted. Does it look good? The sudden question made Zheng Zhi immediately retract his frightened gaze as if he had committed a thief. Act as if nothing happened. That girl just now should be your ex-girlfriend, right? In order to ease the embarrassment, Lin Cai changed the subject. Zheng Zhi immediately widened his eyes and stared at Lin Cai, who was calm and collected. She and I broke up a long time ago. It will definitely not affect us. Zheng Zhi explained with a guilty conscience. The two are now husband and wife. Suddenly hearing Lin Cai mention Li Wanting, I always feel ashamed of being caught having an affair. I know this. Lin Cai turned her head slightly and glanced at Zheng Zhi's slightly embarrassed face, and continued, in fact, when you came out of the dormitory, I was waiting not far away. Lin Cai's words made Zheng Zhi's mouth twitch violently. It turns out that I have been a clown from the beginning to the end. He even tried to get away with it by using gossip, but he didn't realize that the other party already knew everything. Zheng Zhi wanted to explain something, but before he could open his mouth, he was interrupted by Lin Cai. No need to explain. Although we are husband and wife, each of us has our own past and secrets. Besides, I have absolute faith in your character. That woman is not worthy of you. These two simple sentences made Zheng Zhi feel like he had something stuck in his throat. He looked at Lin Cai, who was driving seriously, and a warm feeling flowed through his heart. This feeling of being trusted unconditionally is really heartwarming. After hesitating for a long time, Zheng Zhi slowly uttered, "Thank you, wife." Although Lin Cai did not reply, Zheng Zhi still caught a glimpse of brightness from the corner of her eyes. Soon, the car drove to an old residential area. Zheng Zhi followed Lin Cai closely along the stairs that were covered with traces of time. Such a scene, coupled with the beauty in front of me. Zheng Zhi couldn't help but recall a novel he had read called The Tenant, whose heroine was called Micai. There is some overlap between the two, and it is like the homeless Jiaoyang met his destined Micai. Although, his Micai is 22 years older than him. But now Zheng Zhi suddenly felt that age was no longer a barrier or gap. I went to the third floor and opened the door skillfully. Instead of the expected tranquility and peace, there were two women who were constantly busy. Beautiful busy woman. Lin Cai, you're back. A woman who looked to be in her 40s but still had some charm and elegance, smiled faintly, like a mother waiting for her child to come home. Lin Cai is back. Did her little milk dog husband come with her? A hot-tempered and decisive sister appeared at the door. Zheng Zhi was certain that the little milk dog husband she was talking about was definitely himself. The moment Zheng Zhi appeared at the door, the two women looked at him with scrutiny at the same time, looking him up and down. At this moment, it seemed as if he could be seen through. Although Zheng Zhi was not an introverted or shy person, he was still stared at by two incredibly beautiful women. It gives people a feeling of entering the Pansy cave. Come in quickly, you two are standing at the door, making us two guests look like their hosts. The older woman said with a smile. This is Wani. Lin Cai pointed at the older woman and then pointed at Sister Sa next to her. This is Wei, they are all my best friends. Then, Lin Cai put her arm around Zheng Zhi and introduced him solemnly. This is my husband, Zheng Zhi. The acquaintance of the three ended with a bland introduction. Lin Cai was not planning on having a grand wedding, so she invited her two best friends, Wani and Wei, to have a simple home-cooked meal. It's called a simple meal for parents, but it's actually just hot pot. Zheng Zhi noticed that Wani and Wei didn't seem to know how to cook, and hot pot was the only common meal they could prepare. After 3 rounds of drinks, Zheng Zhi had become quite familiar with who are Ni and Wei. Moreover, I also learned some anecdotes about Lin Cai from them. Before, when the two met, Zheng Zhi always thought that Lin Cai had excellent conditions, so she was overwhelmed by the selection of older single women. I learned from the two of them that Lin Cai had never been in a relationship from beginning to end. I have never thought about getting married. Until I met myself. It seems that there is a layer of mist shrouding Lin Cai, and there are many unknown secret stories. Zheng Zhi, I don't know what ability you have to make Lin Cai, 1,000-year-old iron tree, bloom. I just want to tell you that since you have married her, you must love and care for her for the rest of your life. If you do anything to make her sad, I will never let you go. Sister Sa has a straightforward personality and says whatever she wants. Although she speaks bluntly, she is ultimately doing it for her best friend. Zheng Zhi was also very happy that Lin Cai had such a good friend. Sister Wei, don't worry, I will never let Lin Cai down. Zheng Zhi patted his chest and assured. He had accepted other people's money, and even if Wei didn't say anything, Zheng Zhi would definitely play the role of a good husband in her last days. Zheng Zhi, don't mind it, Wei is just like that. No matter what, you have played an indispensable role in helping Lin Cai to come to a better life. Thanks. Wani appears steady and elegant, and her words are refreshing. Moreover, Zheng Zhi could clearly feel that Wani thanked him sincerely. Sister Hua, this is what I should do. Zheng Zhi frowned slightly, feeling that what they said was always confusing. Lin Cai beside him had a smile on her face the whole time, and seemed to be enjoying this warm and lively feeling. Sister Hua, Wei, the two of you should stop bullying my husband. My judgment is never wrong. As Lin Cai spoke, she couldn't help but pull Zheng Zhi's arm, and he cooperated and moved closer. No matter how you look at them, they look like a perfect match. Chapter 5, The Unmarried Man. I really can't stand you two. You're so blatantly showing off your affection while we're still here. And Wei pouted and pretended to be dissatisfied, but in fact she was really happy for Lin Cai. Wani, who was standing aside, looked at everything in front of her calmly, with a smile in the corners of her eyes spreading like ripples in the lake. Lin Cai really enjoyed Zheng Zhi's strong arms. Leaning on them always gave her a sense of extreme security. At the same time, you can also appreciate the 8-pack abs that are faintly visible through the gaps in his clothes. I never expected that my husband, who looks thin, is actually quite strong. Sudden. Lin Cai, who was originally enjoying the pleasant smell of Zheng Zhi, turned pale as paper. Breathing also became rapid. Zheng Zhi was so frightened that he quickly asked, "Wife, what's wrong with you?" Wani and Wei were also frightened by Lin Cai's condition and were at a loss as to what to do. Medicine, medicine. Lin Cai pointed at the bag hanging at the door and shouted weakly. Zheng Zhi immediately understood what she meant and hurried over to open Lin Cai's bag, only to see a snow-white medicine bottle lying quietly inside. Zheng Zhi picked up the medicine bottle, opened it and suddenly found that it was empty. I have finished taking the medicine. We're out of medicine. Do you want to go to the hospital? Zheng Zhi said anxiously. Huani seemed to be familiar with Lin Cai's situation. After a brief panic, she said to Zheng Zhi, "No need. There is a clinic downstairs. They have the medicines that Lin Cai needs. You guys take good care of her. I'll be back soon." Huani said this and was about to go out. But he was stopped by Zheng Zhi. "Sister Hua, I have good physical strength, so I'll go." Compared to the woman named Huani, Zheng Zhi is much stronger in both physical strength and speed. In order not to waste time, Hua Ni nodded and said, "Just mention Lin Cai's name when you get there." Zheng Zhi nodded solemnly, glanced at the somewhat weak Lin Cai, and ran out without even having time to change his shoes. After Zheng Zhi left, and Wei Wei paced back and forth anxiously, as if her heart was being gripped by something. Seeing in Wei Wei's anxious look, Hua Ni waved at her. "Okay, Zheng Zhi is gone, aren't you overacting a bit too much?" After she finished speaking, and Wei Wei stopped and smiled mischievously. "I've already told you that my vision is not wrong. You must give it a try." At this moment, Lin Cai, who was originally ill, pursed his lips and said helplessly, "Lin Cai, we are doing this for your own good. After all, you and this little guy got married after knowing each other for only 3 days. What if you run into a bad guy? You will have to register your household registration." And Wei Wei crossed her arms, thinking that it is better to be safe than sorry. Nowadays, many men cannot find jobs after graduation, so they think of taking shortcuts and finding a rich woman to reach the peak of their lives. Compared to the paranoid in Wei Wei, Hua Ni said objectively based on her current understanding of Zheng Zhi, "I believe in Lin Cai's vision. After all, if her vision is not good, she can't become the female president of our Haicheng's famous Cai group." And Wei Wei curled her lips and snorted. The perspective of doing business and the perspective of looking at men are two different things, otherwise Lin Cai would not be single until now. And Wei Wei hadn't finished her words when she realized she had said something wrong and quickly shut her mouth. Like a little girl who did something wrong. Huani frowned slightly at the outspoken in Wei Wei and wanted to say something, but was interrupted by Lin Cai. "I appreciate your kindness. This is the first test and it will be the last. I believe Zheng Zhi is the person I'm looking for." As she spoke, a sweet smile appeared on Lin Cai's face. This made Huani and An on the side stunned. They didn't understand why Lin Cai, a strong woman, became so love-brained. It feels like Wang Baochuan digging wild vegetables. "By the way, Hua Ni, help me arrange it in the next 2 days and arrange Zheng Zhi into Cai group in your name." Lin Cai's smile faded and her expression turned serious. Hearing this, not only Huani, but also Wei Wei was a little confused. What is Lin Cai up to now? "Lin Cai, do you want to?" Huani suddenly thought of something and was halfway through her words when Lin Cai nodded. "It's just what you think. If I arrange it, it will definitely attract some people's attention, and I don't want them to know that I'm married yet. This would be a disaster for Zheng Zhi. I want to give him a bright future, not a bottomless abyss." When saying these words, Lin Cai no longer looked like a little woman, but was replaced by a domineering and resolute aura. This kind of thing can only be achieved by those who have been in high positions for a long time and have the power to make decisions on their own over the years. Huani nodded silently. In the eyes of outsiders, Lin Cai was now terminally ill. If they knew that Lin Cai suddenly had a husband, the interests of some people would be affected. Zheng Zhi, this young and inexperienced boy, is likely to die young. And Wei Wei stared with her eyes wide open, listening to the confusing conversation between the two people, as if she was listening to a foreign language. "What are you two talking about? Can you take care of me and explain it more clearly?" And Wei Wei's cheeks were puffed with anger. It felt like they were discussing advanced learning problems, and Wei Wei, a poor student, just couldn't fit in at all. Just now when Zheng Zhi and Lin Cai came back, Su Yang also noticed that there was an inconspicuous clinic in the corner downstairs of the community. As I walked quickly, I saw a small, somewhat shabby clinic. After I lifted the old-fashioned plastic curtain, I saw the clinic. A tinkling sound of bells rang out. Before Zheng Zhi could speak, a sexy woman came out, shaking her hips. The low-cut, navel-bearing camisole shows off her proud beauty without any concealment. Zheng Zhi felt blushing and his heart was beating fast. If he hadn't confirmed it again and again, he would have almost thought that he had walked into some special place. What do you want, handsome? I have ultra-thin ones, hyaluronic acid ones, and ones with particles. The woman skillfully took out some brightly colored boxes and some special supplies and placed them on the cash register. Zheng Zhi's mouth twitched. Is this really a clinic? Zheng Zhi was deeply suspicious. Madam Boss, I don't want these. The proprietress seemed to be impatient. As soon as Zheng Zhi said that it was not these, she took out some even more provocative items. Even Zheng Zhi, who thought he was used to big scenes, felt that he was a little ignorant. Madam Boss, these are not the things. I am here to get medicine for Lin Cai. Zheng Zhi was afraid that the proprietress would bring out something earth-shattering, so he quickly explained his purpose in one breath. Hearing this, the lazy old lady looked at Zheng Zhi with curiosity and burst out laughing. It seems that Lin Cai listened to what I said to her. Finding a man will cure all her problems. That's right, I didn't expect that she would go all the way and find someone so young. That's right. 30 is like a wolf and 40 is like a tiger. Only young people like you can bear it. The proprietress's words became more and more outrageous, and her eyes fell on Zheng Zhi's lower abdomen intentionally or unintentionally. This made Zheng Zhi feel nauseous and his face turned red. Well, tell her to eat less and use you more. You are better than anything else. Without waiting for the proprietress to finish speaking, Zheng Zhi took the medicine and left quickly. He felt like he had entered the Pansy cave. I can't stand staying there for even a minute longer. Looking at Zheng Zhi's embarrassed back, the proprietress smiled coquettishly. TSK, it's obvious that he's a virgin. I'm afraid Lin Cai is going to suffer recently. Although the proprietress said this, her eyes were full of envy. Chapter 6. This is my first marriage and I have no experience. When Zheng Zhi returned to his residence, Lin Cai, who was originally breathing weakly and had a pale face, was sitting on the sofa. He looks much more energetic than before. Honey, are you okay? To be honest, Zheng Zhi was frightened by Lin Cai's appearance just now. Although their marriage was mixed with a hint of interest, Zheng Zhi felt a little uncomfortable for no reason when he saw the other person was sick. When she saw Zheng Zhi, a faint smile suddenly appeared on Lin Cai's face. Honey, I'm much better now. Maybe I was too happy just now and drank a little bit of wine, which is why I got sick. I feel much better after taking a rest. Lin Cai's voice was so soft and gentle, and coupled with her delicate appearance, Zheng Zhi had an urge to hold her in his arms. That's good. Here are the medicines I brought back. The doctor told you to take less medicine and get out more. Zheng Zhi thought of that charming and frivolous woman and found it hard to associate the sacred profession of doctor with her. Moreover, Zheng Zhi also changed the last words the other party told him. That sentence was so extreme that he couldn't even say it. Lin Cai nodded and said nothing more. She knew very well that medicine is poisonous to some extent, but the excruciating pain every time the disease flared up was simply unbearable for her. It can only be relieved by medication. Okay, we've packed up. It's getting late, so we'll go back first. So as not to disturb your world of two. And Wei Wei said half-jokingly. Don't listen to this girl's nonsense. Isn't it that someone is looking for her again? You can't wait to meet him, but you have to say it in such a high-sounding way. Huani sneered. As if she was exposed, and Wei Wei clenched her pink fist and hit Huani's shoulder in a bluffing manner. Sister Ni, don't talk nonsense, I didn't do that. And Wei Wei said no, but her eyes filled with excitement completely betrayed her. Then be careful on the road. Lin Cai instructed. The three of them exchanged some pleasantries, and then Huani and the other two left together. After the two left, the originally lively room suddenly became quiet. At this moment, inside a room that is not very big but extremely warm, Zheng Zhi and Lin Cai just looked at each other, and the atmosphere seemed a little awkward. In the end, it was Lin Cai who broke the silence first. Hubby, you are very eloquent, why are you suddenly mute? Lin Cai tilted her head, her eyes full of questions. Zheng Zhi scratched the tip of his nose awkwardly, then scratched the back of his head, and laughed dryly. No. I may be a little bit uncomfortable with the local climate. Before Zheng Zhi could finish his words, Lin Cai burst out laughing. That fair and beautiful face looked particularly charming at this moment, and those eyelashes as big as a palm fan exuded a unique beauty under the light. To be honest, even though Zheng Zhi is a young man in his 20s, he has never been alone in a room with a girl. When he was in love with Li Wanting, they would either go to the library or take a walk on the playground. Anyway, the two of them have never been alone together in the true sense. Lin Cai's laughter made Zheng Zhi realize that he had said the wrong thing. I quickly changed the topic and said, I mean, maybe I'm not used to the new environment. Even though he changed his statement, Zheng Zhi's slightly embarrassed look proved that he was very nervous. After all, a man and a single woman were in the same room, and Zheng Zhi was still a virgin, so it would be strange if she wasn't nervous. Unlike the gentlemen who are reading this book, you are all experienced LSBs who can remain unmoved even if those fallen girls stand naked in front of you. Lin Cai glanced at Zheng Zhi and found that this big boy couldn't even lie. My ears turned red. I don't think you seem to be uncomfortable. We were all fine when we were having dinner together just now. Do you suddenly feel that you regret marrying a sickly girl like me? As Lin Cai spoke, her eyes dimmed instantly. Seeing Lin Cai's slightly sad look, Zheng Zhi's heart seemed to be gripped by something. No. I don't regret it. Zheng Zhi said firmly. Not to mention that marrying a beauty like Lin Cai as his wife was a wonderful thing, the remuneration offered by the other party alone left him no room for regret. Then why are you so embarrassed? Lin Cai just stared at Zheng Zhi, trying to find the answer from his eyes. Facing Lin Cai's scorching gaze, Zheng Zhi was completely defeated. I've never been alone with a girl before, so I'm a little nervous. Zheng Zhi confessed honestly. Hearing this, the smile on Lin Cai's face became even brighter. Although she had guessed it before, it was a rare pleasure to hear Zheng Zhi say it himself. Lin Cai found it a little unbelievable. Zheng Zhi seems to be a virgin. Why should we be so nervous? We are not in a superior-subordinate relationship, nor are we two completely unrelated people. I am your wife now. Lin Cai's words were like a heavy hammer, hitting Zheng Zhi's heart heavily. Yes. Lin Cai is my wife. Why am I so reserved with my wife? After talking it out, Zheng Zhi felt a lot more relaxed. It's like he has become a different person. I'm sorry, honey, this is my first time getting married and I don't have much experience. I won't do it again next time. Zheng Zhi wanted to explain, but his words changed as soon as they came out of his mouth. Lin Cai also knew that the other party might be too nervous, so she didn't continue to blame him. Honey, I just ate hot pot and it made me smell like hot pot. I feel a little weak now. Can you hold me tightly and go into the bathroom? Lin Cai's voice was very soft, with a hint of inquiry in it. On the surface, they are husband and wife, but after all, their relationship is one of interests, and they are old enough to be each other's mother. Even with such intimate behavior, you still need to ask the other person. In response to Lin Cai's request, Zheng Zhi paused for a moment and replied with an okay. No matter what, the two are a couple, and Lin Cai, a woman, is not shy at all. Is Zheng Zhi, as a grown man, worse than a woman? Then, he went straight to Lin Cai and gently picked her up. Just by looking at Lin Cai's figure, Zheng Zhi knew that she wouldn't be too heavy, but when he picked her up, he found that she was lighter than he expected. The two of them were pressed tightly together, and the fierce collision of male and female hormones could be heard, and both of their hearts could be heard beating in unison. After arriving at the bathroom, a relatively kawaii strip-shaped object immediately attracted his attention. I didn't expect that my wife has some childishness. Zheng Zhi couldn't help but complain in his heart. Perhaps she noticed that Zheng Zhi's gaze was on a place he shouldn't be looking at. Lin Cai's pretty face suddenly turned red. Honey, you can put me down now. Lin Cai's reminder made Zheng Zhi immediately retract his gaze, but the appearance of the object was deeply imprinted in Zheng Zhi's mind. Chapter 7. It's just a little effort. The sound of splashing water was heard, and an exquisite curve was faintly visible through the frosted glass. This made Zheng Zhi, who was already in a state of great rage, feel a little dry in the mouth. No, I can't watch it. It makes me look like a pervert. Zheng Zhi quickly turned his head. Although the two were husband and wife now, they were only in name only. What's more, I was just a temporary husband hired by the other party. I can't destroy my professional ethics. Afterwards, in order to divert his attention, Zheng Zhi washed the dishes and chopsticks used for the hot pot. Zheng Zhi is a rural child who has been doing a lot of housework since he was young. He quickly washed the dishes and even mopped the floor in the remaining time. Zheng Zhi had just finished his work and was about to take a break when the bathroom door suddenly rang. A beautiful figure appeared in front of Zheng Zhi. Their wet hair was clamped with a clip and a wide bath towel wrapped around Lin Cai's fair body. Her shoulders were exposed, with tiny drops of water clinging tightly to them. It gives people a sense of déjà vu of a lotus emerging from water. Looking at such a stunning beauty in front of him, Zheng Zhi was stunned. It's so beautiful. Zheng Zhi discovered that no matter what state Lin Cai appeared in front of him in, she could always give him a new feeling. Honey, what are you looking at? Is there something dirty on my face that I didn't wash clean? Lin Cai's beautiful eyes trembled slightly and she asked curiously. No, I just think you are so beautiful, honey. Zheng Zhi said bluntly. Phew. Lin Cai smiled, pursed her lips, and said, you were shy just now, but now you've become so slick. No, I'm just telling the truth. Zheng Zhi hurriedly explained. Seeing Zheng Zhi's slightly flustered look, Lin Cai's smile deepened. This little puppy is really easy to tease. Okay, I won't tease you anymore. Honey, can you help me get my pajamas? They are in the closet in the bedroom. Lin Cai said softly. Zheng Zhi nodded and hurried into the bedroom. I wasn't like this before. Even though I didn't have much contact with girls before, why did I always feel nervous in front of Lin Cai? Could it be that I fell in love with her? Zheng Zhi shook his head and put this ridiculous idea behind him. How long have they known each other? I only agreed to marry her for her money. It's just to make Lin Cai's memories full of beautiful moments in her last moments. Zheng Zhi kept reminding himself not to do anything that went against his conscience. Then, following Lin Cai's instructions, Zheng Zhi opened the wardrobe. The moment he opened the wardrobe, Zheng Zhi froze in place. Looking at the various pajamas in the closet, Zheng Zhi was a little confused. Are you sure Lin Cai has never been in a relationship? It feels a bit inconsistent with her personality. Just looking at these pajamas made her face blush and her heart beat fast, but Lin Cai usually wore these clothes. Thinking about the scene of Lin Cai wearing these pajamas, Zheng Zhi had an urge to break the law. Hubby, haven't you found it yet? Lin Cai's voice brought Zheng Zhi back to reality, and he replied hurriedly. I found it, but I don't know which one you want. Zheng Zhi answered honestly that he really didn't know which one to take as there were so many kinds of pajamas here. Honey, take whichever one you think looks good. Lin Cai directly threw this difficult problem to Zheng Zhi. Looking at the wide variety of pajamas in the closet, Zheng Zhi had difficulty making a choice. If she chooses the conservative option, will Lin Cai feel like she is being hypocritical? If I choose to be unrestrained, will the other party think that I have bad intentions? It's difficult. It's so hard to be a man. It's even harder to be a man who chooses pajamas for his wife. In the end, Zheng Zhi had no choice but to close his eyes and select his troops and generals. The one you select is the one you want. Call the soldiers and generals, whoever you call will be the one. When the upright finger stopped, his eyes opened. Looking at the direction the finger was pointing, Zheng Zhi's mouth twitched fiercely. It's not my fault, it's God's will. Zheng Zhi gritted his teeth and took off the pajamas chosen by God and went to the living room. I wonder if my husband has the same vision as me. As she spoke, Lin Cai took the pajamas from Zheng Zhi's hand and spread it out. A sexy and hot lace suspender nightgown appeared in front of the two people. At this moment, Zheng Zhi lowered his head and did not dare to look directly into the other person's eyes. I never thought that my husband and I would be so in sync. I plan to wear this pajamas tonight. Lin Cai said happily. Hearing this, Zheng Zhi finally felt relieved. Finally, I was no longer labeled a pervert. Hubby, you're exhausted today, go take a shower too. I've prepared your pajamas for you. Lin Cai pointed to a brand new set of men's pajamas in the corner of the sofa. Okay, I'm going to take a shower then. Zheng Zhi went straight into the bathroom holding his pajamas, while Lin Cai returned to the bedroom with a smile on her face. Zheng Zhi couldn't help but feel distracted when he thought about Lin Cai wearing this sexy and hot pajamas. She also asked me to take a shower, could it be possible? The more Zheng Zhi thought about it, the more he felt it was possible. Otherwise, why would Lin Cai ask him to move in with her? Now let him take a bath. But I'm not ready yet. Zheng Zhi frowned slightly, feeling as nervous as a new daughter-in-law meeting her parents-in-law. However, on second thought, Lin Cai, a woman, is not afraid, so what should I, a grown man, be afraid of? The worst that can happen is that it will take some effort. Turning on the shower, water poured down Zheng Zhi's head. It brought new life to his tired body. In just one day, I went from a pure boy to a married woman. Moreover, he had only known this wife for 3 days and she was 22 years older than him. Zheng Zhi felt a little crazy. I even felt a little excited. Suddenly, Zheng Zhi's gaze moved and he suddenly found an old friend. The cartoon strip object just now. Soon, Zheng Zhi finished washing up and walked out of the bathroom. He changed into the pajamas that Lin Cai had carefully prepared for him. If the two had never met before, Zheng Zhi would have doubted whether Lin Cai knew the size of his clothes. Because the pajamas he prepared were just right. At this time, the bedroom door suddenly opened, and Lin Cai changed into the pajamas selected by Zheng Zhi. At this moment, she looked like a carefully crafted work of art. Every strand of skin exposed to the air radiates a translucent white light, and the black silk pajamas make her look like a fairy. Even with the sexy pajamas, Lin Cai's calm and cool temperament did not diminish at all. It even adds another flavor. Honey, go to the bedroom and lie down for a while. I'll go blow dry my hair. Lin Cai gave some instructions and went into the bathroom. When Lin Cai saw the cartoon strip-shaped object with a few water stains on the small clothes hanger, a sweet smile appeared on the corner of her mouth. Chapter 8. Do you regret? Zheng Zhi was very conscious and knew that it would be impossible for the two of them to have any in-depth communication so soon, so he took out a set of bedding from the cupboard and spread it beside the bed. Lying on the bedding, looking at the nearby edge of the bed, and the faint fragrance emanating from the sheets and quilt, Zheng Zhi had a feeling that it was unreal. More than 10 minutes later, the door opened with a click. A graceful figure walked in. When she saw Zheng Zhi lying on the ground, a look of surprise flashed in Lin Cai's eyes. Honey, why are you lying on the ground? Lin Cai asked doubtfully. Then I might as well go out and sleep on the sofa. Zheng Zhi thought that Lin Cai didn't let him sleep in the room, so he got up and prepared to pack the bedding. Looking at Zheng Zhi's actions, Lin Cai shook her head helplessly. Hubby, I just told you to come to the bedroom to rest, so of course I let you sleep on the bed. How can I let you sleep on the floor, let alone on the sofa? Lin Cai's words made Zheng Zhi a little confused. Lin Cai meant that two people should sleep in one bed. Isn't this progress a bit too fast? Wife, you really don't have to test me. I'm just hired by you. I have a sense of propriety. Zheng Zhi thought Lin Cai was testing his professional ethics, so he said seriously that he was not that kind of person. Lin Cai snatched the quilt from Zheng Zhi's hand and threw it aside, then pulled him directly onto the bed. Zheng Zhi looked at Lin Cai, who was so proactive, and suddenly felt like a sheep walking into a tiger's mouth. Could it be that I have to confess my innocence that I have kept for 22 years tonight? For a moment, the atmosphere in the bedroom became extremely ambiguous. A man and a woman just sat on the edge of the bed, staring at each other, as if they were in a back-and-forth confrontation. Hubby, it's getting late, go to bed. Afterwards, Lin Cai lay directly on the bed, ending this brief confrontation. Looking at Lin Cai's half-exposed shoulders and smooth back, Zheng Zhi realized that he might have been overthinking. How could such a beautiful woman take the initiative? Zheng Zhi complained in his heart, then lay down on the bed and looked at Lin Cai, who was only covered with a quilt. Zheng Zhi considerately covered the other person with a blanket and then turned off the lights. Just when Zheng Zhi was about to fall asleep, he suddenly felt a smooth body crawling into his arms. Zheng Zhi's body instantly became stiff. If we use this to test carders, which carder can withstand such a test? Husband. Lin Cai called out in a gentle voice. Zheng Zhi also responded softly. Do you regret it? You are so young, but you married a woman as old as me. Do you have any regrets at all? There was a hint of sadness in Lin Cai's voice. Even if it was just a hint, Zheng Zhi could feel it. To be honest, I can get money and sleep with such a beautiful woman. Only fools regret. Even though the other person is 22 years older than him, the age difference between them is like that between mother and son. But Zheng Zhi felt that the gap and rift between them did not exist. How can I regret marrying a beautiful woman like you? I will wake up with a smile even when I sleep. Zheng Zhi was speaking from his heart, and although his words were meant to comfort Lin Cai, he not only did not regret it, he was even a little excited. After hearing Zheng Zhi's answer, Lin Cai could clearly feel that the sadness in her tone had dissipated. Instead, there was joy and excitement. Thank you, husband. In fact, I have lived in a world of lies since I was a child. People of all kinds around me may smile at me on the surface, but behind the scenes, their hideousness is chilling. Until I met you, and you told me right away that you were a marriage broker, I was wondering how there could be such a straightforward person in the world. Perhaps, it is because of your straightforwardness that I chose you. I chose you to accompany me through these last moments. When saying the words, the last few moments, Lin Cai's tone, which had originally returned to normal, became sad again. When facing death, no one can stay out of it and face it calmly. Listening to Lin Cai's story, Zheng Zhi realized for the first time that this woman, who was 22 years older than him, was like a little girl with a lot on her mind. I have so many things I want to say, but I don't know where to start or who to say them to. Until I met myself. Perhaps I am the perfect outlet for her to vent, allowing her to tell the secrets in her heart without any scruples. Zheng Zhi could clearly feel the faint but turbulent emotional ups and downs, and she was trying her best to endure it. But he still couldn't escape Zheng Zhi's capture. Wife, no matter what you've been through in the past, from now on I will be your whole world. Zheng Zhi said this for no reason, and I don't know if he was infected by Lin Cai's emotions. Or, this is what I think deep down in my heart. Or maybe, he was gradually conquered by this woman silently. Through the faint moonlight through the window, Zheng Zhi vaguely saw a line of clear tears. The unknown pain hidden in the darkness was gradually healed because of Zheng Zhi's appearance. Hubby, hold me tight. Lin Cai trembled slightly, twisted her body slightly, and leaned into Zheng Zhi's arms. Zheng Zhi also opened his chest completely and held her tightly in his strong arms. The two of them pressed closely together, their skin touching. The proud peaks were like naughty little white rabbits, setting Zheng Zhi's body on fire. Notice the change in Zheng Zhi's body temperature. Lin Cai pursed her lips tightly and whispered, "Hubby, if you want, I can give it to you." Lin Cai's simple words completely added fuel to Zheng Zhi's already rising flames. Lin Cai was like a naughty kitten, her soft lips gently touched Zheng Zhi's lips. Now, Zheng Zhi couldn't bear it any longer. The sweet taste made his mind teeter on the edge of losing control. He gently lowered his head, feeling the fragrance of the other person that penetrated deep into his bones, and Zheng Zhi slowly kissed her. But when the two took a further step, Lin Cai's body suddenly trembled and her skin turned cold in an instant. Noticing the other person's change, Zheng Zhi hurriedly turned on the switch and saw that Lin Cai, who had been gentle and charming just now had a pale face. His lips were trembling slightly. She's having a seizure. Zheng Zhi quickly opened the medicine he brought back tonight, and a simple instruction manual popped out. Without caring about anything else, Zheng Zhi fed Lin Cai the medicine according to the instructions, and Lin Cai's face slowly became rosy. But their whole person is still a little weak. Honey, I'm sorry. Perhaps, I can't give it to you before I die. The sadness in Lin Cai's eyes first dissipated like thick ink. Looking at the weak Lin Cai, Zheng Zhi wanted to slap himself. He knew that the other party was sick, but he still acted like an animal. I am such a bastard. Honey, it's okay. No matter what, you are my wife. Zheng Zhi's voice was extremely gentle, exhausting all the gentleness of the men in Haicheng for decades in one night. Chapter 9 Find a Decent Job. The next morning, sunlight shone through the gap in the curtains. Zheng Zhi stretched lazily, raised his right arm and found that Lin Cai's position was empty. At this moment, the bedroom door creaked open. Honey, are you awake? I have prepared breakfast, you get up and wash up, and we will have breakfast together. Lin Cai had a sweet smile on her face, and her eyes were curved like crescent moons, which was very beautiful. The sexy lace pajamas on her body have been replaced by loose home clothes. Even so, Lin Cai's full curves were still visible in front of Zheng Zhi. Wife, you are not in good health, you should rest more, just leave things like making breakfast to me. Zheng Zhi looked at Lin Cai and said several words with some heartache. Thinking of the painful look on Lin Cai's face when she fell ill last night, Zheng Zhi felt depressed. Why did such a beautiful and gentle woman only have less than 3 months left to live? Oh my God, are you blind? I'm your wife. As a wife, isn't it my duty to prepare breakfast for my husband? I know my body, and doing things within my ability is not only bad for my body, but also has some benefits. I'm not the sickly Lin Cai. I'm not that hypocritical. Lin Cai said with a smile, and tucked up the loose hair hanging in front of her forehead. Every move showed her mature charm. Zheng Zhi was stunned. Hubby, please get up quickly, otherwise the breakfast will get cold and won't taste good. Having said that, Lin Cai walked out of the room. Zheng Zhi's eyes turned over, got out of bed, and walked out closely behind him. There was white porridge, pickles, tea eggs, and fried dough sticks on the table. Although simple, it is full of the flavor of life. Zheng Zhi picked up the fried dough stick and took a bite, and couldn't help but give a thumbs up. Wife, your cooking skills are really good, on par with mine. Zheng Zhi praised sincerely, and he found that Lin Cai's skills were good enough for him to open a shop. Hearing Zheng Zhi's praise, Lin Cai suppressed her smile and said, "Since it tastes good, eat more." At this time, Zheng Zhi accidentally discovered that there were some takeout boxes scattered in the kitchen trash can. Zheng Zhi then realized that the breakfast was a takeaway ordered by Lin Cai. However, even if it is takeout, the taste of Lin Cai's order is much better. Just as Zheng Zhi was eating with gusto, his cell phone suddenly lit up and a text message caught his eye. "Zheng Zhi, what time is it? Have you been drifting lately? I give you 10 minutes to get to the matchmaking agency. Otherwise, you don't have to come here anymore." The person who sent the text message was the boss of the matchmaking agency. He felt that Zheng Zhi did not have a proper job, so he was extremely harsh on Zheng Zhi. Not only were the most difficult clients always assigned to him, but he also often withheld his commissions. It's just past 7 o'clock now, and there are basically no customers in the morning. The other party is treating him like a laborer. Thinking that he had the 200,000 yuan deposit given by Lin Cai, he could not continue to be a shameful marriage broker in the matchmaking agency. After thinking for a moment, Zheng Zhi replied with 2 words, "Get out." Although Lin Cai was sitting opposite Zheng Zhi, she still saw the contents on the phone. "Hubby, you don't have to work so hard in the future, just stay at home with me." Lin Cai is particularly attached to Zheng Zhi now and wishes she could stay with him 24 hours a day. "Wife, I want to be with you all the time, but as a man I need to have a proper job to support my family." Zheng Zhi has decided to go to the job market after breakfast to look for a proper job. "I used to feed the whole family by myself, so it's okay to do some part-time jobs. Now, I have a family. Lin Cai is in poor health. If I don't work harder, how can I succeed? Hubby, you really don't have to go to work. I can support you." Lin Cai's bright eyes revealed sincerity. She really wasn't joking. She has the ability to ensure that Zheng Zhi will have no worries about food and clothing for the rest of his life. To Zheng Zhi, it sounded like a misunderstanding, as Lin Cai had already mentioned it when they were chatting before. Her own property was only about 1 million, and she gave herself 200,000. The remaining 800,000 is probably for this house. If Lin Cai was in good health, everything would be fine, but her health was getting worse day by day. There will be many places where you will need money in the future, so how can you be lazy? "Okay, honey, I appreciate your kindness. Now I am your man, your husband, and I have the obligation to support this family. As a man, how can I let you support me? I'm not a gigolo." Zheng Zhi sternly refused, saying that he would never tolerate gigolos. Seeing Zheng Zhi's determined face, Lin Cai's eyes flashed with admiration. The man she liked was different. After finishing breakfast, Zheng Zhi went straight out and headed towards the job market. Zheng Zhi had been to Haicheng's talent market before. Apart from the general bricklayers, electricians and hourly workers, the most abundant thing here was university graduates. In the past few years, a college graduate might be able to find a well-paid job. However, with the increasing number of college graduates every year, there are many people like Zheng Zhi who cannot find a job. After walking around, Zheng Zhi went from being full of confidence at the beginning to feeling extremely disappointed in the end. Just then, "Zheng Zhi." A surprised voice was heard. Zheng Zhi looked in the direction of the voice and saw a familiar figure. Old Xia. Zheng Zhi was also surprised. The person who called him was none other than his college classmate and roommate Xie Tian. After graduation, everyone went their separate ways. Zheng Zhi remembered that he went back to his hometown in the summer. How come he is in Haicheng now, and in the human resources market in Haicheng? It's really you, kid. I thought I was seeing things. Xie Qian walked up with a happy face, took Zheng Zhi's hand and started chatting. What are you doing here, kid? Are you looking for a job? Zheng Zhi was a top student in their marketing department. Logically speaking, many big companies would scramble for talents like him after graduation. Faced with Xie Qian's questions, Zheng Zhi smiled helplessly. Just looking for a job. Afterwards, Zheng Zhi told Xie Qian in detail about the setbacks he encountered after graduation and his subsequent part-time job. Hearing about Zheng Zhi's experience, Xie Qian sighed. Who would have thought that the former top student would now be racking his brains for a job? Even Li Wanting's abandonment seemed to Xie Qian to be expected. Li Wanting's character was well known in the school, but Zheng Zhi was deeply in love and was confused by the situation. Xie Qian didn't want to say it directly. After all, it is better to demolish 10 temples than to ruin a marriage. Now that the two of them have separated, it can only be said that it is reasonable. By the way, didn't you go back to your hometown? Why are you in Haicheng again? Zheng Zhi asked curiously. When this was mentioned, Xie Qian also revealed a bitter smile. You also know my situation. My family has been a single-son family for 3 generations. After I graduated and returned to my hometown, my parents arranged a blind date for me so that I could carry on the family line. We are young people who have received a new era education. How could we possibly succumb to the cage of arranged marriage? So, in order to get rid of my parents' troubles, I returned to Haicheng. Chapter 10. It seems that this is God's will. Everyone has their own troubles. Zheng Zhi felt that his life was not going well, but he never expected that Xie Qian also had his own sufferings. Okay, let's not talk about unhappy things anymore. By the way, our company is looking for a salesperson right now, and I think you'd be a good fit. Xie Qian's eyes lit up. These days, he was arranged by his leader to go to the talent market to look for suitable talents. But there are all kinds of people here. I have interviewed a lot recently, but none of them caught Xie Qian's eye. Now that they are reunited as old friends, Xie Qian feels that Zheng Zhi is the most suitable person God has arranged for him. After returning to Haicheng in the summer, by chance she got a job at a company that specializes in making pajamas. However, the company's design concept is quite advanced. For Daxia, which has relatively conservative traditional ideas, overly advanced designs mean poor sales. When he was in college, teachers would often give him sales-related assignments, and Zheng Zhi could always come up with some clever ideas. Solve puzzles with ease. Can I do it? If it were in the past, Zheng Zhi would naturally not have said such inconfident words. However, he began to doubt his own abilities after hitting a wall again and again. Xie Qian patted Zheng Zhi on the shoulder and said, Zheng Zhi, a man can't say no. Your ability is obvious to all. If you can't do it, then there's no one in this world who can. With Xie Qian's encouragement, and thinking that she is now a married woman with a family to support, you can't be picky anymore. So, he agreed immediately. Xie Qian put away the recruitment roll-up banner and pulled Zheng Zhi towards their company. It was fate that Xie Qian's company was only about 10 minutes away from Zheng Zhi and Lin Cai's home. Because the company was in urgent need of sales staff and with Xie Qian's recommendation, I went through the interview process and passed the interview. Let him go directly to work the next day. Xie Qian, thank you so much for this time. If it weren't for you, I don't know how long it would take me to find a job. Zheng Zhi said sincerely. It was not a wasted trip today. Their work was finalized and the weight of a burden on his heart fell. All right, brother, there's no need to say those polite words. We brothers don't need to be so formal with each other. Tomorrow, prepare your registration documents, and I will take you to complete the entry procedures. Brother has something else to do, so I won't accompany you for now. This company seemed to be seriously understaffed. I don't know if it was because of the poor sales performance, but many people felt there was no future and left. Zheng Zhi didn't think much about it. It was a good thing this way. The more difficulties the company encountered, the more it could prove his strength. At this moment, in a large office, the human resources manager handed a resume to the person working in front of the desk. Boss Hua, this is the information of the new salesperson we just interviewed. I think this guy is quite suitable. If Zheng Zhi was there, he would definitely recognize the other person. She was Huani, one of Lin Cai's good friends. Huani, who was sitting at work with a sad face, waved her hand. It's just up to you to decide on this little thing. Before Huani finished speaking, she saw a familiar name on the personnel file that the HR manager had placed on the corner of the table. She hurriedly opened the document and looked at the two words, Zheng Zhi, and the detailed information. A smile appeared on Huani's lips. It seems like this is God's will. After returning home, Zheng Zhi couldn't wait to share the good news that he had found a job with Lin Cai. Seeing Zheng Zhi's excited look, Lin Cai guessed what was going on. "Honey, did you find a job?" Zheng Zhi hugged Lin Cai and spun her around a few times before letting her go. "Hubby, you are amazing. How did you guess that?" Lin Cai complained in her heart, "Your mouth is smiling so much that it reaches the back of your head, how could I not see it? But as a qualified wife, emotional value must be maximized. My husband is so outstanding, it's normal for him to find a job." Lin Cai said with a smile. It must be said that Zheng Zhi benefited greatly from Lin Cai's words. The other party will not make trouble with you over such a low-level issue as 8 Swiss rolls. Every word she said, even every move she made Zheng Zhi feel extremely comfortable. "Honey, please stop praising me. I'm afraid I'll become proud and my tail will be all up in the sky," Zheng Zhi said with an extremely happy mood. "Speaking of which, I was really lucky. I ran into an old classmate as soon as I arrived at the job market today. Their company just happened to be in need of a salesperson, and I majored in marketing in college. It was a blessing in disguise." Zheng Zhi was thinking as he spoke that he had looked for countless jobs after graduation but all were unsuccessful. Just after getting married to Lin Cai, he met his old classmates and successfully found a job. He couldn't help but suspect that Lin Cai was his lucky star. "Honey, what's the name of the company you applied for?" Lin Cai asked casually for no reason. "It seems to be called Caixin Garment. The word Cai is in the name of this company. I was wondering if this company was opened by my wife," Zheng Zhi said half-jokingly. When Lin Cai heard the name of the company that Zheng Zhi applied for, she was slightly surprised. Then a smile appeared on his face. "It seems that this is all God's will. It would be great if I could start a company, so I can take care of my old man and you don't have to work so hard anymore." Lin Cai smiled evilly, her eyes rolling around. Zheng Zhi's expression changed, and he frowned and said, "Student Lin Cai, your idea is very dangerous. Why do you always want to support me? I don't want to be a gigolo." Zheng Zhi smiled and didn't take it to heart at all. "Hubby, I just don't want you to be so tired. How can I treat you as a gigolo?" Lin Cai pouted and pretended to be angry. Zheng Zhi realized that he had said the wrong thing, so he hurriedly said to please her, "Wife, I understand your feelings for me. But I'm a man, how can I bear to see you suffer for me?" As he spoke, Zheng Zhi hugged Lin Cai tighter, greedily inhaling the fragrance from her body. Lin Cai pressed her little head tightly against Zheng Zhi's strong chest, feeling extremely safe. The two of them hugged each other tightly, as if time had stopped. Lin Cai's thoughts were in a mess and she felt a lot of emotions in her heart. "Husband, I wonder if you will be shocked when you find out my wife's true identity in the future. The better you treat me, the more reluctant I am to leave you. I really want to be with you forever, but I don't have much time left." Unconsciously, a tear slid across Lin Cai's eyes, and her delicate arms hugged Zheng Zhi tighter. Chapter 11 Let Everything Go. "Wife, we are now husband and wife, what disease do you have?" Zheng Zhi frowned and asked curiously. Medical technology is so advanced nowadays, Zheng Zhi believes that as long as the right treatment method is found, it may be possible to cure it. When talking about her illness, there seemed to be a thick fog in Lin Cai's eyes that could not be dispelled. "Actually, my disease is inherited from my family. I only know that my parents had the same symptoms as me. After they turned 40, their condition became extremely bad. Then leave this world in endless suffering. I have also consulted many doctors and done all the tests, but the results showed that I was healthy. But I always feel that my condition and physical condition are getting worse and worse." According to Lin Cai's description, Zheng Zhi's brows were getting deeper and deeper. In the past, when medical technology was backward, it would have been impossible to find the cause of the disease. With today's highly developed medical care, how is it possible that we can't even find out the cause of the disease? The most bizarre thing is that all of Lin Cai's test results were healthy. Somehow, Zheng Zhi felt that there was something strange about Lin Cai's illness. "Hubby, I'm very open-minded. I'm already satisfied to have you accompany me in my last moments. Lin Cai raised a faint smile on her lips, but Zheng Zhi felt uncomfortable. He knew that Lin Cai didn't want to make him worry, so she was so optimistic. To celebrate your finding a job today, I will cook a few dishes for you. Lin Cai's fair face was filled with joy, as if all the unhappiness just now had disappeared. Wife, go to the bedroom and take a rest. I'm a very good cook. Let me cook and you can taste my cooking. Lin Cai was in poor health, so how could Zheng Zhi bear to ask her to cook for him? Originally Lin Cai wanted to hold on a little longer, but her cell phone suddenly rang. The person who called was Huani. It seems that my idea of cooking for you, my husband, has gone down the drain. Lin Cai said with regret. Zheng Zhi also saw the two big words, Huani, on the screen, and thought that the other party must have something important to talk to Lin Cai about. Wife, sister Hua must be looking for you for something. Go answer the phone first. I'll call you when the food is ready. Zheng Zhi said with a doting look on his face. Lin Cai nodded and returned to the bedroom. After answering the phone, Hua Ni first asked stealthily, Lin Cai, is your little husband next to you? His cooking. If you have something secret to tell me, you should ask if my husband is there before you tell me. Lin Cai joked. Lin Cai, Caixin Company has hired a new salesperson. Can you guess who it is? Huani was keeping Lin Cai in suspense at this moment. She was sure that Lin Cai would not be able to guess the answer at all. Who else could it be? Of course it's my husband. Lin Cai replied with a smile. Huani on the other end of the phone took a breath of cold air. She had wanted to play with Lin Cai for a while, but she didn't expect the other party to reveal the answer directly. How do you know? You know, I just learned the news. Huani was a little bit unbelievable. My husband just came back and told me. Lin Cai spoke frankly and told Huani all the details of Zheng Zhi's interview. TSK, Lin Cai, your little husband actually explained it to you so clearly. If I hadn't known you for such a long time, I wouldn't believe that you had never been in a relationship. Just this method of controlling men is enough for an Weiwei to learn for a lifetime. Huani's flattery made Lin Cai smile bitterly. She doesn't have any means to control men, it's just that Zheng Zhi is an honest man and doesn't have that many tricks. He now truly regards himself as his wife. Okay, you didn't call just to praise my husband, did you? Lin Cai took Huani's words as a compliment to Zheng Zhi. Huani on the other end of the phone rolled her eyes. They had only been married for less than 2 days, and Lin Cai had already gone astray. Of course not. I just want to tell you that my original suggestion has come true. Your idea of having Zheng Zhi go to Cai is totally unrealistic. Even God has made Zheng Zhi go to Caixin. Do you still hold to your opinion? Huani's tone suddenly became serious. She was seeking Lin Cai's opinion and at the same time explaining the interests involved to her. After a moment's silence, Lin Cai slowly said, since it is God's will, what else can I say? Just let it be. Lin Cai's response made Huani on the other end of the phone breathe a sigh of relief. Lin Cai, you will be glad for your decision today. Although the road of surrounding the city from the countryside is difficult, the future is bright. Even if I fail, Zheng Zhi will have someone to rely on in the future. Huani's tone became heavier. Even though she was unwilling to face Lin Cai's condition, her reason forced her to express her opinion. I support your decision, and I also have full confidence in Zheng Zhi. Lin Cai's tone was extremely firm, as if she had made a difficult decision. If it were in the past, Lin Cai might have insisted on her opinion and allowed Zheng Zhi to join Cai group. But after just 2 days of getting along, she suddenly felt that it was too cruel to let him go to a place surrounded by tigers and leopards. They were a group of beasts who ate people without leaving any bones. A kind person like Zheng Zhi could not survive in front of them. Starting tomorrow, I will temporarily leave the company and take remote command. I don't think now is the time to let Zheng Zhi know that this company is yours, Lin Cai. After all, when Lin Cai and Zheng Zhi met, Lin Cai was just an ordinary woman. Huani was also worried that after Zheng Zhi knew that Lin Cai was a rich woman, his mentality changed and he completely gave up. Just do as you say. Lin Cai had the same idea, but she was not afraid that Zheng Zhi would know his true identity. Instead, some eyes were secretly watching Caixin Company. As an ordinary employee, Zheng Zhi can protect him better. If she let those people know that he was her husband, she couldn't guarantee what crazy actions they would take. After hanging up the phone and going to the living room, there were all ready for dishes and a soup on the dining table. At this moment, Zheng Zhi was serving rice. Hearing the noise, Zheng Zhi turned around and saw Lin Cai's face filled with a happy smile. "Wife, the food is ready. You should try it and see if it suits your taste. If not, I will change to something else tomorrow," Zheng Zhi asked with a smile. Looking at the delicious home-cooked dishes on the table, Lin Cai couldn't help but get excited. She hadn't felt this kind of home feeling and the warm and delicious meals for many years since her parents left. "Wife, eat some of this. Wife, eat some of this." Zheng Zhi seemed to be afraid that Lin Cai wouldn't have enough to eat, and kept putting food into her bowl. In a short while, Lin Cai's bowl was piled up like a small mountain. Chapter 12. Because the quality is so good. "Hubby, if I keep eating like this, I'll be a fat man in no time," Lin Cai said with a wry smile. Zheng Zhi didn't care at all. He kept picking up food for her, and even when there was no more room in the bowl, he started feeding her. "Wife, you are weak, so you should eat more to supplement your nutrition. Even if you get fat, you are still my wife. You will always be the most beautiful in my heart." Zheng Zhi's little mouth seemed to be smeared with honey, and what he said made Lin Caifang very happy. Zheng Zhi also became more active from being reserved at the beginning. The two of them spent their leisurely lunchtime in this sickly sweet atmosphere. The two of them stayed at home in the afternoon, enjoying their quiet world. Early the next morning, Zheng Zhi took the information to Caixin Company. After the human resources manager completed the entry procedures for him, he took him to the sales department. Although it is called the sales department, there is actually only one sales manager in the department besides the newcomer Zheng Zhi. "Li Qian, if the person you recruit this time is still that kind of person, I think it's better to let her go as soon as possible to save time." Li Qian, the human resources manager, is a woman in her 30s with a very kind temper. She worked hard to recruit many sales staff, but each time they were fired by the so-called sales manager on the grounds that they were not suitable. As a result, she is the only one left in such a large sales department. Zheng Zhi also heard from the conversation between the two that this supervisor was a little difficult to get along with. "Mo Yao, it's already very difficult to recruit people now because you keep driving away the employees you recruited. Our Cai company has a bad reputation. We have been recruiting in the job market for almost half a month and no one is willing to come." Li Qian was also a little angry. She had worked so hard to recruit someone, but he was driven away before he could even get any work done. Who can be comfortable with this? If you don't know, you might think that Mo Yao is deliberately picking on Li Qian. This is Zheng Zhi, Xiaoxia's classmate from our logistics department. Please don't make things difficult for him this time. Having said that, Li Qian left the sales department angrily. "What's your name?" Mo Yao frowned slightly. When he heard that Zheng Zhi was Xia Qian's classmate, he thought that the other party got in through the back door through connections. He didn't give Zheng Zhi any good face at all. "My name is Zheng Zhi, Zheng means solemn and Zhi means upright." Zheng Zhi introduced himself. Just now, Zheng Zhi was busy listening to Li Qian's complaints and didn't pay attention to his new leader. Only now did Zheng Zhi realize that his leader, Mo Yao, was quite good looking. She tied her hair into a neat ponytail and wore a slim short suit, which showed off her exquisite figure. The first impression Mo Yao gave Zheng Zhi was that of a heroic and strong woman. "It just so happens that our distributor has returned a batch of products. Come with me to take a look." Mo Yao didn't care about Zheng Zhi and left coldly. Zheng Zhi followed closely behind. He couldn't understand it. Aren't the returned products generally due to quality issues? Shouldn't they blame the production and quality department for that? Why do you have to get involved in sales too? Zheng Zhi just had some doubts in his heart, but he still followed to the scene. At this moment, a group of people gathered in the production workshop, sighing. "Our pajamas are first rate in terms of quality and materials. How can this dealer say that they can't sell them?" "That's right. If he can't sell it, that's his own problem, not our product's problem. Leader, what do you say?" At this time, everyone's eyes fell on a middle-aged man. He is the manager of the production department of Cai Company. His name is Zhang Dahong. Zhang Dahong has been making clothes for his entire life, and he is extremely demanding in quality control. No clothes that have passed through his hands have ever been returned. At this time, the appearance of Mo Yao and others immediately caused a commotion. Manager Mo is here. Da. Mo Yao arrived at the scene in high heels. After taking a look at the products, she slowly said, "This dealer is a major customer of our Caixin company. If the problem cannot be solved, it will be a disaster for us." Zhang Dahong sighed, pointed at the product and said, "Manager Mo, take a look at our product yourself. Where can you find any flaws? I think this so-called big client is looking for trouble. If the product is returned due to quality issues, Zhang Dahong will take responsibility. However, not only is there no problem with the quality of the product, but the quality is even quite good." He couldn't understand why the customer wanted to return the product. Mo Yao looked at the mountains of products, her brows furrowed deeper and deeper. It's not like she hadn't asked the customers before. But the customer just replied coldly, "Your products are too good, we can't sell them." Mo Yao was also confused. She had only heard of products that couldn't be sold because of poor quality. How could products with good quality not be sold? She also understood that customer product returns had nothing to do with the production and quality departments. But if they can't come up with a solution, it will be even more difficult for them to continue cooperating with each other in the future. Customers return our products because our quality is too good. A voice suddenly rang out in the silent scene. Everyone looked in the direction of the voice and saw a strange face appear in front of them. "Who are you?" Zhang Dahong asked with a vigilant look. They were holding an internal company meeting and had no idea when an outsider showed up. "I'm a new employee in the sales department. My name is Zheng Zhi." Zhang Dahong turned his gaze to Mo Yao, wanting to confirm the authenticity. Mo Yao nodded. "He is indeed a new employee in my sales department. I just started working today and I don't know anything. Manager Zhang, please don't mind it." Mo Yao was already annoyed, and said to Zheng Zhi, "What do you know as a newcomer? We are discussing the issue, why are you making trouble? If you continue to talk nonsense, your career will end here." Zheng Zhi turned a deaf ear to Mo Yao's threat, but came to the product and opened the package. A pair of women's pajamas appeared in front of everyone. Then I pulled it hard, and not only was there no danger of the pajamas being torn, there was not even the slightest deformation. "What are you doing?" Mo Yao asked impatiently. After a series of verifications, Zheng Zhi finally confirmed the reason why this batch of products was returned. "Because the quality is so good. The reason our batch of products was returned is because the quality is too good." Zheng Zhi's voice exploded in the field like a thunder. Everyone looked at Zheng Zhi as if he was a lunatic, with different expressions on their faces. It's clear that the sales department is getting worse day by day. Having someone like Mo Yao with such a hot temper is already a headache. Now here comes another psychopath. Chapter 13 Shameless. Zheng Zhi's nonchalant behavior and illogical words made Mo Yao's face extremely cold. She knew that no one who came in through the back door was reliable. "Zheng Zhi, get out." There was a chill in Mo Yao's eyes, and she pointed at the gate of the factory and said in a deep voice. She didn't want Zheng Zhi to continue to embarrass himself here. Zheng Zhi shook his head helplessly at Mo Yao's rude behavior. He didn't understand why his supervisor Mo Yao disliked him as soon as he started working. He was a little suspicious whether Mo Yao had entered menopause early. Zheng Zhi put down the pajamas in his hand and prepared to leave. A deep voice suddenly sounded. "Wait a moment." Zhang Dahong stared at Zheng Zhi with burning eyes, with a hint of curiosity in his tone. "Zheng Zhi, right? You said our products were returned because the quality was too good. Can you tell me how you did that analysis?" Although Zhang Dahong felt that Zheng Zhi's reasons were a bit far-fetched, no one in the entire company could explain them. There is nothing to lose by listening to Zheng Zhi's reasons. What if he was right? Lao Zhang, he's just a new guy and doesn't know anything. His so-called reasons are too bizarre, don't be misled. Mo Yao felt that Zhang Dahong was being too frivolous, as she actually wanted to hear the ridiculous reasons from Zheng Zhi, the newcomer. "Manager Mo, things have come to this anyway. Let's just give it a try, just in case Zheng Zhi is right." Zhang Dahong looked very friendly, with a faint smile on his simple face. Seeing that Zhang Dahong was so persistent, Mo Yao didn't say anything else, but turned her gaze to Zheng Zhi. "Zheng Zhi, since Manager Zhang has said so, then tell me how you analyzed it." Zheng Zhi nodded, and before stating his reasons, he asked Zhang Dahong and Mo Yao a question. "Manager Zhang, Director Mo, to which groups do our company's pajamas mainly sell? As soon as Zheng Zhi asked the question, Mo Yao sneered. Manager Zhang, you see, he doesn't even know what group our company's products are aimed at. Do you think he can give any convincing reasons? I think we should stop fooling around. Mo Yao was inexplicably irritated. The large number of returns from customers had already made her feel depressed, so she had no time to listen to Zheng Zhi's nonsense. Zhang Dahong turned a deaf ear to Mo Yao's words and replied seriously. The pajamas produced by our company are mainly aimed at young and middle-aged women. After getting the answer he wanted, Zheng Zhi couldn't help but feel more confident. Then my analysis is correct. The reason why our products were returned is because the quality is too good. Then, Zheng Zhi began to tell his thoughts. Many people have a misunderstanding about women's pajamas, thinking that they are just a piece of clothing. As long as the quality is good and it is comfortable to wear, that's all. In fact, this idea is too one-sided. The role of women's pajamas as a piece of clothing is disappearing. Instead, it has become a tool for enhancing the relationship between men and women, and between couples. I don't know if you have ever seen that kind of movie from abroad. When this was said, the expressions of everyone present were stiff, and they tried hard to create a confused look. Zhang Dahong's face also became anxious and he glanced elsewhere. Mo Yao looked even more strange with a cold expression and kept making small movements. Zheng Zhi, we are here to listen to your reasons, not to listen to you talk about those shameless movies. Mo Yao put on a righteous look, saying that she would never tolerate such vulgar topics. Zheng Zhi was confused and quickly explained, I'm talking about those foreign art films. Although the shots are sometimes too unrestrained, it's not shameful. Zheng Zhi said that he felt wronged because he was clearly talking about art. How can you be shameless? After hearing Zheng Zhi's explanation, Mo Yao's face froze. She suddenly noticed that everyone was looking at her strangely. Ahem, keep it brief and don't go off topic. Mo Yao said in a panic. She felt that her image seemed to collapse in that instant. When the boyfriend and girlfriend are intimate in the movie, did you notice that the heroine's pajamas are torn when they are torn? That tearing feeling gives people an extremely strong sense of impact. Upon hearing this, everyone present nodded, and it was indeed the case. When they saw this scene, they felt their blood rushing and their adrenaline rushing rapidly. It can only be described as exciting. Now, with the development of society, the new generation of young people, and even some middle-aged people, are exposed to more and more sensory stimulation products. The relationship between men and women is tending towards a subtle change that is bland. Therefore, as a manufacturer of women's pajamas, we must also keep up with social progress. I think that in addition to lowering the quality of our products appropriately, we also need to change the appearance. As he spoke, Zheng Zhi picked up the pajamas he had unpacked and spoke while gesturing. There's too much fabric here, we need to cut it off. We need lace here. Here, cut it short. After Zheng Zhi's gestures, the pajamas were completely unrecognizable. There was only a little bit of fabric left. Everyone present thought of the final effect of the pajamas after being modified by Zheng Zhi. Everyone's face turned red, feeling so ashamed. If you do this, it won't cover anything. Can it still be called pajamas? Suddenly someone asked. I want nothing to be covered, and it would be best if I could have the feeling of holding a lute and half covering my face. I think our products can no longer be limited by the old way of thinking. We need innovation. I gave our new pajamas a new name, called erotic underwear. Su Yang's voice gradually became higher and higher. After speaking out his thoughts, he felt a lot more relaxed. Nonsense, Zheng Zhi. I thought you could come up with some good excuses, but it turns out you're just testing the limits of the law. Your thoughts are dangerous. Mo Yao directly rejected Zheng Zhi's idea in her eyes as a traditional woman. Zheng Zhi's thoughts are like an evil beast. I think Zheng Zhi's idea is worth a try. Zhang Dahong said in a low voice. It has to be said that Zheng Zhi's ideas are not only bold, but also unorthodox. In Daxia, people are very secretive about matters between men and women. Now, Zheng Zhi's actions are tantamount to bringing this to the surface. Manager Zhang, you are an old garment maker, how come you have become so unstable? There was a questioning tone in Mo Yao's voice. Manager Mo, the times are changing, and we must keep pace with the times. We can't always stick to the old ways. Practice makes perfect. Zhang Dahong ignored Mo Yao and directly led his employees to make modifications according to Zheng Zhi's ideas. Seeing Zhang Dahong as if she was possessed by an evil spirit, Mo Yao was almost furious. Facing Zhang Dahong's back, he said, "Manager Zhang, since you won't listen to my advice, I'll just go find President Hua. I just don't believe that Mr. Hua can make you so crazy." Chapter 14 Genius Idea. Mo Yao glanced at Zheng Zhi and left angrily. Only Zheng Zhi was left, all alone at the scene. "I was just busy explaining my own ideas, but I didn't expect that it would cause a huge disagreement between Mo Yao and Zhang Dahong." Mo Yao had always disliked him, and with the accusation of spreading false information to confuse the public, Zheng Zhi felt that he might be fired. At this time, Guani was sitting in the spacious general manager's office, sorting out documents. In order to prevent Zheng Zhi from discovering that she is Lin Cai's best friend, she had to leave the company temporarily. Originally, she was in charge temporarily for Lin Cai, and now it was time for her to retire. Bang bang bang. There was a rapid knock on the door. Hua Ni frowned slightly and shouted at the door, "Come in." Then, Mo Yao walked in with an anxious look on her face. "Boss Hua, please take care of Manager Zhang as soon as possible, otherwise the company will fail sooner or later," Mo Yao said angrily. "What's going on? What happened to Manager Zhang?" As the company's production manager, Zhang Dahong is calm and reliable. Guani couldn't figure out what earth-shattering action Zhang Dahong would take to bring down the company. "That's what happened. Didn't a black sheep named Zheng Zhi just come to our sales department?" Mo Yao told Guani everything Zheng Zhi said at the scene, word for word. That would have been fine, but Zhang Dahong also took Zheng Zhi's words to heart and directly led his men to make changes according to Su Yang's ideas. After listening to Guani's story, Guani also felt that Zheng Zhi's idea was quite bold. In the relatively conservative Daxia, Zheng Zhi's idea was no different from having intimate contact with fallen women in broad daylight on the street. Lin Cai's little husband is really amazing. However, Mo Yao called Zheng Zhi a black sheep, and Lin Cai was shocked to find out that her husband was being slandered in this way. "I'm afraid you'll be unhappy. It is said that Zheng Zhi got in through the back door. I don't think the person who opened the back door for him is a good person," Mo Yao said indignantly. Mo Yao was hinting at Xie Qian, but Zheng Zhi's employment was approved by Guani. She looked at Mo Yao with a strange expression, as if she was teasing herself. "Okay, Mo Yao, I think you're making a big fuss. Manager Zhang is an experienced garment maker, you have to trust his judgment. Zhang Dahong is an old man who has followed Lin Cai for many years. His character and vision have been tested over the years. Mr. Hua, you..." Mo Yao wanted to say something else, but was interrupted by Guani. "Okay, I know you're doing this for the good of the company. You're also going to get mad if Mr. Huang returns all these products. I'm going on a business trip soon, and I'll need you and Manager Zhang to work together for the rest of the process. Mr. Lin is not in good health right now. No one is taking care of you. You should be as close as a family," Guani said calmly. Mr. Lin had not come to the company for a long time due to health reasons. Now Ms. Hua, who is Ms. Lin's best friend, is also going on a business trip. Mo Yao felt like a child without parents, and felt lost. Just then, the door of the office was pushed open suddenly. "Boss Hua, our company is about to take off." The person who came was none other than Zhang Dahong, who Mo Yao said was about to ruin the company. Guani was convinced by these two people. They came over one after another, wanting her to leave in peace. Mo Yao, who was standing by, sneered when she heard what Zhang Dahong said. "Manager Zhang, you believed Zheng Zhi's nonsense and got involved in those sexy underwear. I'm afraid that the company will be ruined in no time, let alone take off." Hearing Mo Yao's sarcastic words, coupled with the weird atmosphere in the office, Zhang Dahong then realized that Mo Yao was here to complain about him. This single old lady has no man who wants her and has a terrible temper. I usually don't bother with her, but now she's taking advantage of me. Manager Mo, just say what you want to say, don't be sarcastic here. Our company is doing well, and you are saying that our company is going to fail. What are you thinking? Zhang Dahong, who is usually kind to others, suddenly got furious and didn't give Mo Yao any face at all. Mo Yao was also choked to death by Zhang Dahong's words. She just wanted to express that Zhang Dahong's behavior was too daughter-in-law-like, and therefore too spontaneous. But I didn't expect that the other party would catch my grammatical errors and question me. Okay, both of you stop arguing. Wani rubbed her eyebrows. She found that only Lin Cai could calm these two people. Immediately, Wani turned her gaze to Zhang Dahong beside her and asked casually. Manager Zhang, if you have anything to say, just tell me. Zhang Dahong was so angry at Mo Yao that he almost forgot why he came here. He directly placed the object in his hand on the desk. Boss Hua, take a look, this is the product I modified based on the idea of our new company's Xiaojing. Wani was slightly shocked. Mo Yao just said that after Zheng Zhi finished expressing his ideas, Zhang Dahong immediately started to revise them. She thought it was a joke, but she didn't expect the other party to be serious. The speed is so fast. Wani slowly spread out the products on the desk, and a shocking picture appeared in front of her. When Mo Yao was describing the story just now, Wani was just imagining it out of thin air, and she didn't think it was that outrageous. Now that I have seen the real thing, I realize that my imagination is still limited. Only then did she understand the true meaning of the word explosion. The pajamas that were once ordinary have now become a few ropes connected together, with only a few pieces of fabric left. What's the difference between wearing this and not wearing it? Manager Zhang, you're not going to say that relying on this shameless thing will make our company take off, right? Mo Yao snorted coldly, thinking that Zhang Dahong was so old but his ideas were so naive. Good. That's it. Zhang Dahong said in a decisive tone. Mo Yao was almost laughing out of anger. Who would buy such a shameless thing? Even if it was thrown on the street, I'm afraid no one would even look at it. Looking at these ropes, Wani felt that they were a bit too embarrassing. Would anyone pay for such a thing? She thought it was unlikely. Seeing that Wani didn't believe it either, Mo Yao looked arrogant. Zhang Dahong pointed at the erotic underwear on the table and said, before I came to the office just now, I sent our newly revised products to Mr. Huang. Before Zhang Dahong could finish his words, he was rudely interrupted by Mo Yao. Manager Zhang, you are crazy. This is just an unrealistic idea. It's fine if you believe Zheng Zhi's lies and modify the product. But why are you so anxious to send it to Mr. Huang? If Mr. Huang sees this, he will think that our Caixin company is unreliable. Take out this immoral product to evade him. From now on, I'm afraid our cooperation with Mr. Huang will be completely ruined. Mo Yao couldn't even imagine how angry Mr. Huang would be after seeing this thing. Wani also felt that Zhang Dahong was a little irrational and should at least come and take a look at herself first. If Mr. Huang is unhappy about this, Caixin will lose an important client in the future. Manager Mo, are you being a little too worried? I've said that practice makes perfect. Mr. Huang is in touch with the market, and he is most sensitive to what the market needs. I sent our company's modified product to Mr. Huang, and he wasn't as unhappy as you said. On the contrary, he praised it highly. We strongly request that other products returned be modified in this way. He even placed an additional order. The only requirement is that all products must be like this. Zhang Dahong said seriously. Crazy. Completely crazy. Mo Yao felt that Zhang Dahong was poisoned by Zheng Zhi and started talking nonsense. How could Mr. Huang like this kind of thing? She wouldn't believe it even if you killed her. Suddenly, the phone rang. Hello. A hearty laugh came from the phone. Hello, Mr. Hua, I'm Huang Yifar. Your Caixin company is really a hidden talent. Why didn't you bring out such a good product earlier? You know what? This is such a stunning design. It's no exaggeration to call it a genius idea. Chapter 15, that is to find a man. On his first day at work, Zheng Zhi wanted to perform well, but he didn't expect that this would make his supervisor, who was already dissatisfied with him, even more dissatisfied. If my guess is correct, I will receive a notice of dismissal from my supervisor when I get off work today. Zheng Zhi shook his head helplessly. Now that things had come to this, he could only take things one step at a time. I just feel a little sorry for my good brother Xie Qian. Thinking of this, Zheng Zhi decided to find Xie Qian first and give him a shot of prevention in advance. The logistics department where Xie Qian works is not far from the workshop, only 5 minutes walk away. When Zheng Zhi arrived at the door of the logistics department, he heard Xie Qian's shouting before he even walked in. Fuck, do you know how to play games? Your shooting skills are too poor. 2 people were killed in seconds by a female college student. Squeak. Zheng Zhi pushed open the door and saw Xie Qian sitting on a chair with his legs crossed, looking angry at his lack of fighting spirit. Seeing Zheng Zhi coming, Xie Qian hurriedly put down the phone in his hand. He jumped up from the chair at once. Invite Zheng Zhi to sit down. Zheng Zhi, why are you here? How was your first day reporting? Xie Qian asked a bunch of questions at once, and Zheng Zhi didn't know which one to answer first. At this time, Xie Qian also noticed that there was something wrong with Zheng Zhi's expression. Zheng Zhi, why do I feel that you are in a bad mood? Are you unhappy with your job? Just tell me what you have. I will definitely help you as long as it is within my ability. Xie Qian said, patting his chest. Summer, no. Well, how should I put it? I might be fired. Zheng Zhi then told me that when he reported today, Mo Yao's nose was not a nose and her eyes were not eyes. I disliked him in every way, and I expressed my views on the returned products in front of everyone. And told Xie Qian everything that caused the rift between Zhang Dahong and Mo Yao. After listening to Zheng Zhi's story, Xie Qian's brows were tightly furrowed. Then he said earnestly, Zheng Zhi, that old lady Mo Yao is over 30 years old and always looks dead to everyone. She must have entered menopause early, so she's like a psychopath. If it's just her problem, it's easy to solve. At most I can talk to Sister Li and help you change your position. I also know that this batch of returned goods was returned by Mr. Huang Yifar, our company's largest distributor. This Mr. Huang sounds like just a dealer, but he has enormous power. It can be said that his attitude can determine the life or death of our company. As a newcomer, you are giving suggestions without knowing anything. According to the temper of that crazy woman Mo Yao, she will definitely complain to the boss. If that's the case, I can't help you, brother. Speaking of this, Xie Qian looked ashamed. He should have made arrangements with Zheng Zhi in advance. After all, I am also responsible for this matter. Zheng Zhi, it's my fault. Don't worry, if you really get fired, I can accompany you. Anyway, I play games every day here, and I feel like I'm almost wasted in the summer. Don't. Xie Qian, you introduced me here. I owe you a favor. If you quit your job because of me, I will really be a sinner. Zheng Zhi waved his hands repeatedly, telling Xie Qian not to be so impulsive. But Xie Qian was already too excited to listen at all. Just then, Zheng Zhi's cell phone rang. The caller was Li Qian, the human resources manager. Zheng Zhi already had a bad feeling. He calmed himself down and answered the phone. Zheng Zhi, where are you? Sister Li, I'm in the logistics department. Li Qian immediately guessed that Zheng Zhi must have gone to find Xie Qian. Zheng Zhi, just now your supervisor Mo asked me to inform you to go to the office on the 3rd floor. Zheng Zhi wanted to ask Li Qian what Mo Yao wanted to talk to him about, but in the end he suppressed his thoughts. I thought Li Qian called me to tell me that I didn't need to come tomorrow. Unexpectedly, it was Mo Yao who came looking for me. Could it be that Mo Yao felt that it was not enough to let the HR department notify her of her dismissal, so she had to inform them in person? Xie Qian, who was standing by, immediately asked, Zheng Zhi, why did Sister Li call you? Did she call you to inform you that you were fired? If so, I will go through the resignation procedures now. I want to let them know that without me, Xie Qian, CA Aishan Group will suffer a huge loss. Zheng Zhi looked at Xie Qian's serious expression and the corners of his mouth twitched involuntarily. Does he know what he is talking about? Let us not talk about it first. The earth will continue to rotate without anyone. Considering Xie Qian's lazy attitude, doing nothing but playing games every day, it seems like a good thing rather than a bad thing for CA Aishan Company to lose him. Xie Qian, don't be impulsive. Sister Li didn't say she would fire me. She just said that manager Mo wanted to see me for something and asked me to go to the office on the 3rd floor. Before Zheng Zhi could finish his words, Xie Qian became furious. Mo bastard is really vicious. Normally, personnel issues are handled by Sister Li. You just expressed your personal opinion, but now she wants to dismiss you personally without going through Sister Li. This woman's mind is smaller than a needle tip. No wonder no man is interested in her even though she's over 30 years old. Xie Qian angrily vented all his anger on Mo Yao. In his eyes, Mo Yao was an unkind, petty, and mean old woman. How could he let his brother face this vicious woman alone? Let's go, Zheng Zhi. I'll go with you. Brother, I can't let you face the suffering alone. Regardless of whether Zheng Zhi was willing or not, Xie Qian directly pulled him to the office on the third floor. At this moment, Mo Yao, who was sitting in the office, had a cold expression on his face. He had never expected that Su Yang, the newcomer, would have such a seemingly outrageous idea. Not only did it help the company solve the return problem, but Mr. Huang even placed a few more orders. Mo Yao has watched Caixin Company grow step by step to where it is today. If Caixin could have a better future, she would be happy, even happier than anyone else. In fact, as a woman, Mo Yao also wants to be gentle and elegant like other women and be a lady. When she was in school, she devoted herself to studying and rejected the kindness of many boys. After graduation, I was so busy with my career that I had no time for love. As time went on, I didn't expect that there would be something left. She became what the world calls an older leftover woman. As she got older, her temper became more and more manic. She always couldn't help losing her temper. She had seen many doctors and had countless checkups, but the doctor's response was always to tell her to have a good rest. Later, she accidentally heard that there was a miracle doctor in Haicheng who was best at treating women's diseases. After she inquired around, she found out that this miracle doctor was right near the company. A few days ago, she went for a consultation. The miracle doctor told her that there was only one way to recover completely. That is to find a man. Chapter 16: Becoming a Hot Toy. To be honest, the clinic where the miracle doctor works has a hint of something fishy, whether it's its geographical location or the decoration inside the clinic. Yes, it's not serious. And the miracle doctor was not wearing a white coat as expected, looking like an immortal and mature. Instead, she was a woman wearing heavy makeup, black stockings, and had a worldly air about her. Could this be a miracle doctor? Mo Yao felt that she must have encountered an online scam. Just as he was immersed in his own world and his mood was gradually stabilizing. A loud noise brought her back to reality, causing Mo Yao to tremble all over and get really scared. I saw a big guy with a fierce look on his face standing at the door. If it's not Xie Qian, then who else could it be? After a brief panic, a layer of frost appeared on Mo Yao's pretty cheeks. Summer, what are you doing? This is the sales department, not your logistics department. Mo Yao's emotions, which had finally stabilized, suddenly became unstable. Just like a volcano about to erupt, it is on the verge of collapse. Mo Yao, stop putting on airs. I know you don't like my brother Zheng Zhi. Although he mentioned some ideas today that might be a little awkward, they were all for the company. Why do you want to fire him? It's fine if you want to open it, but you have to call him over and tell him in person. No one is so insulting as you. I'm telling you, if my brother Zheng Zhi gets fired, I'll quit. Xie Qian curled his lips and put himself in the company's core business, thinking that the company would be doomed without him. Zheng Zhi, who was standing by, also didn't expect that Xie Qian was so fierce. What caught people off guard was a quick and efficient kick to the door. As smooth as a gangster collecting protection fees. He couldn't even pull it back. Xie Qian, you are a slacker in the logistics department. You either play games or sleep every day. You're threatening me. You should be glad that you work in the logistics department. You're not good at anything and you don't have any leftovers. If you were my subordinate, I would have kicked you out long ago. How dare you ask that? If the company wasn't in a hurry to hire you, you would have been lucky. How could our Caixin Company hire someone like you? As for you, if you leave Caixin Company, no company will take you in, and your only fate will be to wander the streets. Mo Yao had finally calmed down, but Xie Qian kicked the door violently, which aroused her anger again. This is purely for the sake of excitement. If Mo Yao doesn't scold him, who should she scold? After being scolded by Mo Yao, Xie Qian, who was originally in high spirits, froze in place like a puppet. Before he came here, all the lofty words he had been preparing in his mind were wiped out by Mo Yao's repeated attacks, and his brain went blank, and he could no longer remember them. Swish! Mo Yao's cold gaze instantly fell on Zheng Zhi, making him feel like he was being stared at by a dirty creature. Zheng Zhi, even though this is our first day of knowing each other, I may have a slightly bad temper. What you said was a little unpleasant to the ear. You don't need to ask him to help you, right? Mo Yao's eyes were filled with deep disdain, and she looked at Xie Qian as if she was looking at a monkey talking to himself. Manager Mo, this is all a misunderstanding. He was just afraid that I would be fired in the summer, so he acted like this. I apologize to you on his behalf. I know what I did today was wrong. I'll just leave, but please don't blame Xie Qian. Zheng Zhi looked sincere. He didn't want to cause his good brother to lose his job and become homeless because of him. Even if I lose my job, I still have a wife. If I lose my job in the summer, I can only go back to my hometown and become a tool to carry on the family line. Seeing this pair of brothers in distress speaking up for each other, Mo Yao actually felt a little envious. Who said I was going to fire you? I asked you to come because the company is going to call a meeting of all important departments later. As a member of my sales department, isn't it natural for me to ask you to come? Mo Yao laughed in anger. Meeting? Zheng Zhi and Xie Qian shouted in unison. Mo Yao was almost laughing out of anger. These two guys really are good brothers. Soon, people from other departments came in one after another. Now, Xie Qian was sure that Mo Yao had asked Zheng Zhi to come over for a meeting. I'm sorry, Manager Mo, I misunderstood. I remembered that I have something else to do, so I'll leave first. Xie Qian was afraid that Mo Yao would not let him go, so he left the scene without stopping. At this time, Zhang Dahong, the production manager of Caixin Company, arrived late. There was a smug smile on his face, and when he saw Zheng Zhi, he patted him on the shoulder. Xiao Zheng, are you interested in joining our production department? I think your survival in the sales department is worrying. As long as you are willing to come, I will give you the position of production manager. Zhang Dahong came up and threw a big pancake at Zheng Zhi, making him dizzy. Are Manager Zhang and Supervisor Mo now in a tense situation? Start poaching people right in front of them. Manager Zhang, Zheng Zhi is from my sales department. Isn't it a bit inappropriate for you to poach him right in front of me? Mo Yao said through gritted teeth. Zhang Dahong didn't care at all, and said leisurely, Xiao Jing is a good person in your sales department, but you don't know the value of gold and jade. Only a bull like me can see the advantages of Xiao Zheng, a talented horse. The two of them exchanged verbal battles. It's all for Zheng Zhi. Zheng Zhi felt a little dazed as he watched the two of them falling out over him. How did he go from being a new employee who was almost fired to being a hot commodity in the eyes of the two leaders? Although, Zhang Dahong gave Zheng Zhi a good impression and was a nice person. But he ended up working in the sales department. If he really went to the production department, he would probably have a feud with Mo Yao. In the future, it will be so embarrassing to see each other everywhere in the company. I heard you guys quarreling outside. As part of Caixin, we are family. It's fine if we just have a quarrel behind closed doors. But when Mr. Huang comes, if you continue to do this, will Caixin still have dignity? At this time, a woman in professional attire walked in and said with a little dissatisfaction. This woman is the secretary to the president of Caixin Group, Chen Xuexin. After Lin Cai left the company, everything in the company was taken care of by the secretary Chen Xuexin. As the temporary manager, Wani was only here to help out for a short period of time. Now that Zheng Zhi has joined the company, she definitely can't show up again. Therefore, Chen Xuexin walked to the front of the stage. However, she didn't know the relationship between Lin Cai and Zheng Zhi. It has to be said that Chen Xuexin was very imposing. As soon as he opened his mouth, the two people who had just been arguing shut up. The place instantly fell into dead silence, and you could hear a pin drop. Then, Chen Xuexin looked at Zheng Zhi with interest, sizing him up and down. There was a strange look in his eyes. Chapter 17. The criticism meeting turned into a praise meeting. Chen Xuexin's scorching gaze made Zheng Zhi feel uncomfortable all over, as if he was being stared at by a hungry wolf. As if she realized that her gaze was a little too intense, Chen Xuexin restrained herself a lot and said to Zheng Zhi with a smile. You are Zheng Zhi, right? Zheng Zhi nodded and replied respectfully, Hello Secretary Chen, I am Zheng Zhi. Chen Xuexin nodded slightly and said softly, Find a seat first. Zheng Zhi laughed dryly twice, not knowing what was going on, and then found a seat to sit down. Then, Chen Xuexin returned to the majestic look she had when she entered the room just now. The reason why we are in a hurry to hold a meeting today is that we have two things to announce. Everyone present couldn't help but prick up their ears, and the office became unusually quiet. Mr. Hua will be leaving the company for a while due to personal reasons. For the next period of time, I will be in charge of all the company's affairs. As she spoke, Chen Xuexin turned her gaze to Zhang Dahong and Mo Yao, who were both unwilling to submit to each other. I hope that during the period when the leader is away, we will redouble our efforts while doing our job well. Let President Hua and even President Lin know that even if they are not in the company, we can still run the company successfully. Listening to Chen Xuexin's words, Zheng Zhi frowned slightly. She had heard before that the boss of this company was surnamed Lin and was resting at home due to health reasons. And this good friend of Mr. Hua and Mr. Lin is temporarily helping Mr. Lin manage the company. Now President Hua is away due to some matters, and now Secretary Chen has the final say in Caixin Company. Moreover, it seems that this Secretary Chen is not simple, and he can make Zhang Dahong and Mo Yao dare not say a word. He must be a powerful character. I must be careful in the future and never offend the other party. After finishing the first thing, Chen Xuexin immediately turned her gaze to Zheng Zhi. This time, Chen Xuexin had no intention of hiding anything. He stared at Zheng Zhi straightly, then said with a smile, "The second thing is about the batch of returned goods from our company." Click. Zheng Zhi's heart suddenly rose to his throat. Seeing Chen Xuexin's smiling face, Zheng Zhi felt even more nervous. Could it be that Secretary Chen was going to bring up his irresponsible remarks in the workshop at the meeting? Criticize yourself in front of all the main leaders. This is more embarrassing than firing him directly. I am still too young and I believe the nonsense Mo Yao said in the meeting. Which leader can tolerate my behavior? However, Chen Xuexin's next words made Zheng Zhi dumbfounded and froze in place. Everyone knows that the person who returned this batch of goods is Mr. Huang Yifar. Everyone should understand Mr. Huang's status in the clothing distribution industry. If we lose Mr. Huang, an important partner, it would be like a bolt from the blue for our company. However, thanks to a new employee of our company who spoke up for justice and came up with a bold and innovative idea, the product was not only personally recognized by Mr. Huang. Because of this, Mr. Huang also added a few orders. Now, let's all applaud Zheng Zhi, the hero of our company. Par par par. The endless applause made Zheng Zhi stunned. Isn't this a criticism meeting? It turned out to be a commendation meeting. While Zheng Zhi was shocked, Zhang Dahong came up to him happily and pulled him up. Zheng Zhi, you are a great contributor to our company, please say a few words. As Zhang Dahong spoke, he glanced at Mo Yao who was standing beside him. The other person's face was pitch black, as if he had just come out of a coal mine. Zheng Zhi also noticed Mo Yao's unhappy expression, even though he accidentally helped the company a lot. But he is still Mo Yao's subordinate after all. The leader didn't say anything, but he, an employee, spoke in front of so many people in the company. Isn't this an act of usurpation? Mo Yao disliked me in the first place, so it would not be worth it if she made things difficult for me in the future because of this. Therefore, Zheng Zhi waved his hand and said, "Let our leader explain. I don't know anything. I just stumbled upon this by accident." How could Chen Xuexin not understand what Zheng Zhi meant, and the corners of her mouth slightly raised? He said, "Zheng Zhi, don't be modest. Even if you stumbled upon it by accident, you must have real skills to have stumbled upon it. Your supervisor Mo may be good at sales, but I think you are better at product thinking. You don't want to talk about it. Are you afraid that others will learn your skills secretly?" Chen Xuexin's seemingly joking words made the atmosphere at the scene a lot more relaxed. Even if Mo Yao was being unreasonable, she still knew her limits. She forced a smile and said, "Zheng Zhi, Secretary Chen asked you to speak, so just speak." After getting Mo Yao's answer, Zheng Zhi's anxious heart finally settled down a little. Now that things have come to this, I can only bite the bullet and say a few words. After a long breath, Zheng Zhi straightened up and said, "Actually, the reason why I did this time." Zheng Zhixian said that it was because of the company's platform that he had the opportunity to show himself. He expressed his thoughts at that time vividly. When everyone present heard Zheng Zhi's ideas, their eyes lit up. They realized that their thinking might have become rigid after being in their inherent circles for so many years. After Zheng Zhi finished speaking, a hint of appreciation appeared in Chen Xuexin's eyes. "That's right. I hope everyone can think about what Zheng Zhi said just now after returning home. If our Caixin company wants to achieve great development, it won't work just by relying on existing thinking. Be brave to innovate." Let me convey Mr. Hua's intention. In view of Zheng Zhi's outstanding performance, the originally scheduled 1-month probation period will be cancelled and he will be made a regular employee immediately. Also, a cash reward of 20,000 yuan will be given as an encouragement. Zheng Zhi, go to the finance department after get off work to collect your bonus. Then, there was warm applause again. Zheng Zhi didn't pay much attention to the previous words, but he heard the final reward of 20,000 yuan carefully. After get off work today, I must share my joy with my wife. After the meeting, everyone dispersed. Zheng Zhi was about to follow the crowd, but was stopped by Chen Xuexin. Zheng Zhi, come to my office later. I have something to talk to you about. Once you learn it, you can start playing and get rewards. What does Secretary Chen want to see me about? At this time, Zhang Dahong, who had not yet left, came up to Zheng Zhi and whispered, Xiao Zheng, you are talent. But you must keep your original intention and never lose yourself because of temporary temptation. While saying this, Zhang Dahong looked at Chen Xuexin's back and couldn't help but shook his head. Now, Zheng Zhi was even more confused. Secretary Chen just wanted to know why Zhang Dahong said such confusing words to him. Stay true to yourself and don't lose yourself because of temporary temptation. What kind of temptation could this company have that could make Zheng Zhi, who is always upright, lose his original integrity? It's impossible, okay? Chapter 18. Why call me Secretary Chen? Call me sister. After leaving the meeting, Zheng Zhi went straight to the secretary's office. Secretary Chen's office is separated from the president's office by a wall. After taking a curious look at the president's office, Zheng Zhi knocked on the door of the secretary's office. Boom boom boom. Come in. A lazy and slightly charming voice came from inside the door. Zheng Zhi frowned slightly. Why did Secretary Chen's voice sound a little strange? After gently pushing open the door, Su Yan couldn't help but quickly glance at Secretary Chen's office. Although Chen Xuexin is a secretary, her office is bigger than those of many company bosses. And the furnishings inside are also quite tasteful. Secretary Chen, what do you want to talk to me about? Zheng Zhi asked cautiously. At this time, the chair that was originally facing away from Zheng Zhi turned around, and Chen Xuexin immediately stood up from the chair. Zheng Zhi, you sit down first. Chen Xuexin first gestured for Zheng Zhi to sit down, then slowly walked over. Actually, I don't have anything to do with you, I just want to chat with you. As Chen Xuexin gradually approached Zheng Zhi, he suddenly discovered that the buttons of the other's business suit jacket had been unbuttoned at some point. Their fair complexion beneath their white shirt was faintly visible under a black silk undergarment. Zheng Zhi's eyes suddenly widened. He wanted to remind the other party, but he felt that it was inappropriate. If he reminded her rashly, Chen Xuexin might think he was a pervert. Helpless, Zheng Zhi could only lower his head slightly. But when she lowered her head, it was even more amazing. The black lettered stockings wrapped around Chen Xuexin's straight long legs were even hotter. If he remembered correctly, Secretary Chen was only wearing a pair of ordinary flesh-colored stockings when she went to the meeting just now. How come it changed in the blink of an eye? Zheng Zhi felt that his brain was not enough. Seeing Zheng Zhi's slightly embarrassed look, a cunning look appeared on Chen Xuexin's face. His eyes brightened instantly. Zheng Zhi, are you feeling a little hot? Why do I see sweat on your head? As she spoke, Chen Xuexin took 2 tissues from the coffee table and started wiping gently. The fingers that exuded fragrance stroked Zheng Zhi's skin intentionally or unintentionally. It gave him a feeling of electric shock. Especially when Chen Xuexin leaned forward slightly, the infinite beauty was about to overflow. Thank you, Secretary Chen. Let me do it. Zheng Zhi's face turned red instantly, and he took the tissue from the other party and wiped it. Why call me Secretary Chen? That's too strange. I'm only a few years older than you. If you don't mind, you can call me sister from now on. Chen Xuexin said with a smile. Zheng Zhi nodded, feeling that the word sister was too embarrassing, and finally changed it to Sister Chen. After hearing Zheng Zhi's address, Chen Xuexin's smile widened. Zheng Zhi, since you just came to the company, if you have any questions or don't understand something, you can ask me directly. You're welcome, sister. Chen Xuexin acted extremely enthusiastic, like a caring older sister. Thank you, Sister Chen. If there's anything I don't understand, I'll definitely ask. Zheng Zhi said that he would definitely ask, but he didn't mention asking Chen Xuexin. After all, the other party is now the actual person in charge of the company. If a newcomer like me keeps going to her office, others will think I am trying to flatter her. If there is anything he doesn't understand, wouldn't it be easier for him to just ask Xie Tian? By the way, I noticed that you and your director Mo don't seem to get along well. Mo Yao's temper is well known in the company. Not to mention the newcomers, even the old employees can't stand her bad temper. Maybe Zheng Zhi misunderstood Chen Xuexin's meaning. He thought Chen Xuexin was testing whether he had any grudge against Mo Yao. No, not at all. It might be my first day at work, so I was a little nervous and that's why everyone misunderstood me. Zheng Zhi replied against his will. Chen Xuexin smiled and said, "Okay, you don't have to cover up for Mo Yao. I know her bad temper. Actually, the reason I came to you today is mainly to ask if you have any thoughts on changing your position." Transfer. Zheng Zhi repeated with a confused look on his face. Chen Xuexin nodded and said, "After what happened today, our boss thinks you are more suitable for design instead of sales. You have an open mind and extraordinary ideas. You are a great talent for design. I think it's a bit of a waste of your talent to go into sales. Of course, our company is not unkind. It all depends on you. But what I want to tell you is that if you choose the design path, your prospects will be brighter. Besides, the salary is much higher than sales." As Chen Xuexin spoke, she sat next to Zheng Zhi without him knowing when. The two of them were very close to each other. Zheng Zhi took a slight breath and could smell the perfume on the other person. He couldn't help but feel his mind was wavering. The unique charm exuded by a mature woman makes Chen Xuexin look full of charm. Zheng Zhi was a little dazed. To be honest, Zheng Zhi didn't care about what Chen Xuexin said before, but when he heard her mention salary, he admitted that he was moved. You know, now is not the time when he can feed the whole family just by himself. Now he has a family and a sick wife. Making more money is of vital importance to him. You don't have to rush to answer me right away, you can think about it first. Tell me when you've thought it over. Chen Xuexin was very considerate and gave Zheng Zhi time to consider, but Chen Xuexin could see that Zheng Zhi was already moved. Especially when the salary is mentioned, the other party's eyes are full of light. Okay, I'll go back and think about it. The job transfer could be a big deal or a small deal to him, so he decided to discuss it with his wife after getting home from get-off work. Then, the two chatted about some trivial matters. However, Zheng Zhi discovered that when Chen Xuexin was chatting, she always bumped into him intentionally or unintentionally. Moreover, the seat was getting closer and closer to me. This made Zheng Zhi a little at a loss. Zheng Zhi didn't think much about it, he just thought that Chen Xuexin might be a more free and easy person. Finally, Chen Xuexin turned the topic to Zheng Zhi. It was like checking Zheng Zhi's household registration to get a clear picture of his situation. When I heard that Zheng Zhi had only been in love once and that their relationship only went as far as holding hands. Chen Xuexin looked at Zheng Zhi with an increasingly passionate gaze, and the smile on her face was extremely bright. "Zheng Zhi, what do you think of Sister Chen?" Chen Xuexin stared at Zheng Zhi with her sparkling eyes and asked. Zheng Zhi didn't understand why the other party asked this question out of the blue. But he still replied, "Chen Jia, you are beautiful and gentle, you are like a goddess. In the past, I would never have thought that I could work with you." Hearing Su Yang's answer, Chen Xuexin laughed so hard that her body shook with a blush on her cheeks. Chapter 19, a little more intimate. Just as Chen Xuexin was preparing to have an in-depth conversation with Zheng Zhi, a sudden cell phone ring disrupted her rhythm. Ding-a-ling. Seeing the call marked as from the boss, Chen Xuexin's expression suddenly became serious. Zheng Zhi also tactfully stood up from the sofa and prepared to leave. The person who called could cause such a big change in Chen Xuexin. It seems that the identity of this person is not simple. "Zheng Zhi, I have something to deal with here. If you have made up your mind, come and see me directly," Chen Xuexin said with a smile on her face. "Okay, Sister Chen. You go ahead and do your work. I'll be leaving first." The moment Zheng Zhi walked out of Chen Xuexin's office and closed the door, she heard Chen Xuexin respectfully shout into the phone, "Boss." I looked at the time and it wasn't long before I got off work. If he went back to the sales department and saw Mo Yao now, Zheng Zhi felt it would be extremely awkward. He decided to go to Xie Tian's place and sit for a while. As soon as Zheng Zhi walked into the logistics department, Xie Tian acted like an anxious monkey, rushing up to him and asking him questions. Because the people in the meeting just now were all mid-level and above leaders of the company. So, Xie Tian didn't know the specific content of the meeting. "Xie Tian, did that old Aunt Mo Yao give you any trouble? If it weren't for the fact that she's a woman, I would have slapped her twice." Xie Tian kept on berating Mo Yao. It was as if the other party had some irreconcilable hatred with him. Zheng Zhi glanced at Xie Qian's angry expression, rolled his eyelids, and said unhappily, "Okay, stop bragging here. Just now, Manager Mo made you speechless with a few words, and you still have the nerve to bring it up." Zheng Zhi had experienced Xie Qian's shamelessness when he was in school. Now it seems that after graduation, the other party has become even more shameless. "I've already said it, I'm not going to argue with her because she's a woman." Xie Qian was stubborn and refused to admit that he was at a disadvantage in the fight with Mo Yao. Perhaps in order to expose this shameful scene, Xie Qian directly changed the subject. "That old lady said she wanted to have a meeting with you. What kind of meeting was it? I just checked it out. The people in the meeting were all mid-level and above leaders of the company. You are a new employee, how can you be qualified to participate? Hurry up and tell me what's going on." Although Xie Qian was carefree, he still sensed something was wrong from the clues. "Today I am a little confused." Zheng Zhi told Xie Qian the details of the meeting, as well as the praise and rewards he had received. "I heard that Zheng Zhi helped the company recover its losses because of a random idea. He even helped the customer increase his orders and received a bonus of 20,000 yuan." Xie Qian admitted that he was jealous. This is the first time for everyone to be a human being. Why is Zheng Zhi so outstanding? When he was in college, Zheng Zhi had a lot of creative ideas. Now that he has come to Caixin Company, he can shine just by putting them into practice. "You are really something, kid. But I remember that you were focused on studying when you were in school. How did you come up with such a groundbreaking idea?" "Zheng Zhi, you have thick eyebrows and big eyes, you were pretending to be studying hard, right? Actually, your mind is entirely focused on these things." Xie Qian teased with a sly smile. To be honest, Xie Qian really wronged Zheng Zhi. The reason why Zheng Zhi had such a bold idea was that when he was in school, he always liked to hang out in the library. "I have also seen knowledge about clothing. Just took a look." In addition, with the development of the internet, he found that the designs of pajamas at some foreign fashion weeks are becoming more and more avant-garde. Therefore, he feels that this is the trend of the future. He was just a little bolder. Par. Xie Qian has really broadened his horizons and learned what talent is. That's what it is. Just by casually reading a few books and watching some fashion shows, I can come up with my own ideas and concepts. As expected, all the top students are weird. When I get the bonus, I'll treat you to a meal after work tomorrow. Zheng Zhi would naturally not be stingy towards his good brother who had recommended him. Why not today, why tomorrow? Xie Qian couldn't help but ask casually. In fact, Zheng Zhi originally wanted to treat Xie Qian to dinner after work today, but he has a family now. After getting the bonus, I must go back and share the joy with my wife first. After handing the bonus to my wife, I will apply for special funds to treat Xie Qian to dinner. Well, I have something else to do today, so I can save you a meal. It means tomorrow, Zheng Zhi said with a smile. Xie Qian stroked his chin, always feeling that something was wrong with Zheng Zhi after meeting him this time. So Xie Qian asked tentatively, "Zheng Zhi, tell me the truth. You told me last time that you broke up with Li Wanting. You weren't lying to me, were you? Are you going to give her the bonus?" "Brother, let me tell you, that woman is really not suitable for you. If a man wants to be loved, he must first learn to love himself." Xie Qian couldn't bear to see his good brother being deceived by Li Wanting, the green tea girl, so he kindly tried to comfort him. Zheng Zhi also gave a bitter smile, thinking that Xie Qian had misunderstood. "Xie Qian, Li Wanting and I really broke up. I really have something on my mind today. I've been awakened since the day I broke up with Li Wanting. Just put your heart in your stomach," Zheng Zhi said with repeated assurances. After hearing this, even though Xie Qian still had doubts, he couldn't interfere too much in Zheng Zhi's private life. "I just hope the other party has really thought it through. By the way, Xie Qian, you've been in the company for quite some time. I have something I want to consult you about." Zheng Zhi frowned slightly, and couldn't help but think of Zhang Dahong's confusing words. He told Xie Qian about his doubts, hoping that he could help him solve them. "You mean, Secretary Chen asked you to go to her office?" Zheng Zhi nodded instinctively. Xie Qian's eyes widened, filled with intense envy. Zheng Zhi was convinced and asked him what Zhang Dahong meant by this sentence. He casually mentioned that Secretary Chen asked him to go to her office, but Xie Qian simply ignored the first half. He focused all his attention on the second half, which was about going to Secretary Chen's office. Old Zhang is just saying the grapes are sour because he can't eat them. Zheng Zhi, leave him alone. This old Zhang just can't stand seeing you doing well. Xie Qian continued to ask impatiently, tell me quickly, what happened after Secretary Chen asked you to go to her office? The corner of Zheng Zhi's mouth twitched as he looked at Xie Qian's appearance, which seemed a little vulgar. He clearly remembered that he had this expression when he watched Japanese movies in the summer when he was in school. Nothing, just chatted with me for a few minutes. There's nothing else. Zheng Zhi thought about it and felt that Secretary Chen was a very easygoing person, so he just chatted with him briefly. It just felt a little more intimate. Chapter 20. She is greedy for your body. Real? Xie Qian still asked in disbelief. Zheng Zhi nodded, indicating that there was no need for him to lie. It shouldn't be like this. Xie Qian frowned, thinking that this was not in line with Secretary Chen's style. What shouldn't be? Xie Qian, if you have something to say, just say it directly. Why are you still hesitating with me? Zheng Zhi always felt that Xie Qian was hiding something from him. Seeing Zheng Zhi's serious face, his eyes revealed the stupidity that only college students have. It seems that the two of them really just chatted. Xie Qian first looked around and made sure that no one was passing by before speaking in a low voice. Zheng Zhi, do you know why Manager Zhang said those vague words to you? Zheng Zhi shook his head. If he knew, would he need to ask you? In fact, this matter is a well-known secret in the company. Xie Qian said seriously, acting like a mature person. A secret known to everyone. Xie Qian, don't you think your words are grammatically incorrect? Zheng Zhi was a little confused. Zheng Zhi, could you please not care about these details? I'm telling you, the reason why Lao Zhang said this to you is because he's afraid that you won't be able to resist Secretary Chen's temptation and take the crooked path of living off her. Secretary Chen got divorced not long ago, and she is feeling empty right now. You should know that women of her age have strong needs. You look pretty handsome, although not as good looking as me, but you are slightly more talented than me. For a single, divorced woman like Secretary Chen, this is extremely lethal. Old Zhang is also an old hand. He should be able to see that Secretary Chen is obsessed with you. Zheng Zhi's brain was a little stuck and he couldn't digest Xie Qian's words for a while. Will Secretary Chen like me? I just met him today, that's unlikely. Zheng Zhi felt that Xie Qian's reasoning was seriously flawed. Although Secretary Chen had become more intimate with him, Zheng Zhi still felt that it was a bit far-fetched to say that he had some ulterior motives towards him. Elite white-collar workers like Secretary Chen are 1 in a million in terms of both figure and appearance. How could he fall for a newbie like me? Xie Qian, don't exaggerate. I don't think Secretary Chen is that kind of person. Xie Qian waved his hands, indicating that Zheng Zhi was still too young. Zheng Zhi, no matter whether Secretary Chen is such a person or not, I think it's okay for you to get closer to her. The competition is so fierce now. It's harder than climbing to the sky for us brothers to make a name for ourselves. Sometimes taking a shortcut is a good choice. Anyway, Secretary Chen is single now, and you are strong and healthy and look like a pretty boy. I heard that Secretary Chen got a large sum of property when he divorced. If you use your special skills to take down Secretary Chen, you will be able to ascend to the sky in one step. Xie Qian was like a crouching dragon and a phoenix chick, analyzing the pros and cons for Zheng Zhi. If it weren't for the fact that he was slightly lacking in talent compared to Zheng Zhi, he would have gone on his own long ago. Xie Qian, can you please stop talking nonsense? I just want to come to work properly, but you let me live off you. Don't mention that Secretary Chen is such an outstanding woman. She has very high standards. She doesn't even look down on a poor college student like me who has nothing. Even if someone might be short-sighted enough to like me, I'm not the kind of person who lives off others. Zheng refused bluntly, not because he was a very upright person. But he is already a married man. Although Secretary Chen is good-looking, he is still inferior to his wife Lin Cai. He would never do anything to let Lin Cai down. Brother, just be stubborn. God has placed such a good opportunity in front of you, but you don't know how to cherish it. When you finally realize your mistake, you will regret it. Xie Qian was angry at him for not fighting for it. If Xie Qian had his own awareness, he would probably be promoted and get a raise in no time. He became a leader, married Secretary Chen, acquired a lot of wealth, and reached the peak of his life. Okay, Xie Qian, I'm not interested anyway. If you are interested, you can give it a try. Zheng Zhi laughed out loud. Xie Qian pointed at Zheng Zhi and sighed helplessly. If I had any chance, I would have done it a long time ago, but Secretary Chen didn't even bother to look at me. Xie Qian said helplessly that it was not that he did not want to make progress, but that there was no channel for progress. Xie Qian, isn't our manager Mo also single? If you feel you can't win over Secretary Chen, you can try another direction. Try to take down manager Mo. Manager Mo is also a white-collar elite and his family should be very wealthy. Zheng Zhi gave Xie Qian an idea, asking him to change direction, which might help. When Xie Qian thought of Mo Yao's ferocious look, his head shook like a rattle. Please forgive me. That old lady Mo Yao has a stern face every day. It would be better for me to die than to chase her. Even if I'm willing to pursue her, I'm still afraid she'll suck me dry. Xie Qian curled his lips, indicating that he would never have any intention towards Mo Yao. The two of them chatted with each other, and before they knew it, it was time to get off work. After saying goodbye to Xie Qian, Zheng Zhi went to the finance department to collect his bonus and then went home without stopping. In order to ensure the safety of his bonus, Zheng Zhi took a taxi for the short journey of just a few minutes. This made the taxi driver, who was trying to pick up a big client, look resentful, and he looked at Zheng Zhi with such a look that he wanted to stab him. Wife, I'm back. As soon as he entered the door, Zheng Zhi was eager to share today's fun and joy with Lin Cai. Honey, are you tired from work today? After not seeing each other for a day, Lin Cai felt like she was meeting Zheng Zhi again after a long separation. Hugging each other tightly. Still the familiar smell, the strong chest. Feeling so solid. Even though it was only a short day, Zheng Zhi felt like it was a year. The two of them just hugged each other like that. After a full 10 minutes, the two reluctantly separated. Hubby, let's eat first. Lin Cai is like a primary school student who got 100 points in the test and hopes to get praise from his parents. Only then did Zheng Zhi realize that there was a sumptuous dinner on the table. Wife, you did all this. Zheng Zhi's eyes lit up. In the past 2 days, apart from Zheng Zhi's cooking, Lin Cai ordered takeout. Therefore, Zheng Zhi consciously thought that Lin Cai couldn't cook. But looking at the sumptuous meal, Zheng Zhi was overjoyed. I feel like I have found a treasure. Hubby, try it and see how it tastes. Lin Cai looked at Zheng Zhi with burning eyes, wanting to know the answer impatiently. Zheng Zhi didn't think much about it and picked up a piece of food and put it in his mouth. So salty. This is at least a packet of salt. Zheng Zhi's face was a little distorted, but he still forced himself to swallow it. Millimeter, delicious. Zheng Zhi forced a smile, thinking that this must be Lin Cai's first time cooking, and he couldn't undermine her self-confidence. It seems that I have learned it well. If it tastes good, I'll eat more. Lin Cai received the compliment and thought that the food she cooked was really delicious, so she filled Zheng Zhi's bowl. Looking at the mountain of rice bowls, Zheng Zhi felt not only touched but also salty. I have an urge to cry. Chapter 21, Evil Plot. Lin Cai rested her chin on one hand, staring at Zheng Zhi with her bright eyes, watching him eat the food she cooked with relish, a bright smile on her face. Even though it was hard to swallow, in order not to undermine Lin Cai's self-confidence, Zheng Zhi still gritted his teeth and finished the meal with a smile. After dinner, the two leaned on the sofa and started chatting. Lin Cai snuggled in Zheng Zhi's arms like a kitten, enjoying the pleasant time together. Honey, how was your day at work? Are your colleagues easy to get along with? Lin Cai's voice is very soft, as pleasant as the sound of running spring water. Except for our supervisor who is a bit aloof, the other colleagues are all pretty nice. Zheng Zhi used the word cold to describe Mo Yao in order not to make Lin Cai worry. If Lin Cai knew that her supervisor had a bad temper and almost fired him, she would probably not be able to sleep tonight. In order to change the subject, Zheng Zhi hurriedly took out the bonus he had won today from his bag. Seeing the stack of bright red banknotes in Zheng Zhi's hand, Lin Cai was not surprised at all, as if she had known about it for a long time. But she still pretended to be very surprised and asked curiously, "Husband, don't you go to work? Where did you get so much money? You must not do anything illegal." Zheng Zhi shook his head, scratched Lin Cai's nose, and said with a smile, "Wife, you don't know who your husband is, how could I do anything illegal? This money is my bonus." Hearing this, Lin Cai's face was full of question marks. Bonus. So Zheng Zhi told Lin Cai everything that happened in the company today. Hubby, you're awesome. Lin Cai's eyes were full of admiration, as if she had seen a great hero returning in triumph. Zheng Zhi scratched the back of his head embarrassedly in response to Lin Cai's compliment. I was so happy. He found that his wife gave him a lot of emotional value, which made him like Lin Cai even more. No, I'm just lucky. Who said it was just luck? You are really capable, husband. Otherwise, why don't others have such luck? Lin Cai pouted and kissed Zheng Zhi firmly on the cheek as a reward. Afterwards, Zheng Zhi handed the 20,000 yuan bonus directly to Lin Cai. Wife, we are family now, and the financial power of the family is handed over to you, Zheng Zhi said solemnly. At this time, Lin Cai's expression was slightly surprised. She obviously didn't expect Zheng Zhi to give the bonus to her for safekeeping. Hubby, you want me to keep it? Lin Cai couldn't believe it and confirmed it again. Of course I let you keep it. You are my wife, my good helper. If I don't let you keep the money I earn, who should I give it to? Zheng Zhi's serious look made Lin Cai feel warm inside and tears welled up in her eyes. Thank you, husband. Lin Cai hired Zheng Zhi to marry her just to avoid any regrets before she died. But she didn't expect that Zheng Zhi would be so considerate to her. Before, when facing death, she had no fear, as she was all alone in this world. Maybe death is the best ending for her. But after meeting Zheng Zhi, her originally grey life became colorful, and now she really can't live without Zheng Zhi. I don't want to die either. Silly, we are couple, why are you saying thank you? If I hear you again, I will punish you, Zheng Zhi said with a smile, and while Lin Cai wasn't paying attention, he kissed her on the lips. So sweet. By the way, honey, I was able to find a job this time thanks to the help of my old classmate Xie Qian, so I want to treat him to a meal after work tomorrow. Zheng Zhi felt that since the two of them were married, they should be honest with each other. He would definitely explain everything to Lin Cai when he came back tomorrow night. It's okay. Your classmates have helped you so much, so you should treat them to a meal. Having said that, Lin Cai directly took out 2,000 yuan and stuffed it into Zheng Zhi's hand. Wife, I have money. You should keep this money. This bonus is their first income after their marriage and has great commemorative significance. Zheng Zhi doesn't want to spend money. But Lin Cai refused to give in and forced the gift into his hands. Your classmate helped you, and he also helped our family. As their hostess, I naturally cannot be stingy. Lin Cai looks dignified and generous, and has the demeanor of a heroic woman. Okay, I'll take it then. Then, the two chatted for a while before Zheng Zhi remembered that he had another important thing to do. Wife, there's one thing I almost forgot. I want to discuss it with you. I didn't join the sales department this time, but my proposal helped the company recover its losses. So, Secretary Chen, who is currently in charge of the company, wants me to go to the design department. But I know nothing about design. So, I want to ask for your opinion, Zheng Zhi said with regret. Hubby, if I guess correctly, you should have made up your mind, right? You came back to ask me, do you want me to give you some sound advice? Lin Cai said with a smile. I have to say that Lin Cai is not only beautiful, but also has a top-notch IQ. He immediately saw what Zheng Zhi was thinking. Wife, you are really amazing, you are simply a female Zhuge Liang. Zheng Zhi flatters Lin Cai and she just curls her lips, and this little husband will make people happy. To be honest, I actually want to go to the design department. Zheng Zhi wanted to go to the design department. Besides the fact that he felt Mo Yao was a bit cold and difficult to get along with, the main reason was that the design department offered high salaries. Although Zheng Zhi is not a money-loving person, their small family will need to spend money in many places in the future. He must prepare early. Then go to the design department. Lin Cai made the final decision. Wife, you didn't even ask why, you just let me go. Zheng Zhi asked in disbelief. Hubby, if you want to go, then there must be a reason for you to go. As your wife, I will support you unconditionally. Lin Cai's heartwarming words made Zheng Zhi almost die of sweetness. With a wife like this, what else could a husband ask for? Okay, since you said so, I will follow my heart. Zheng Zhi felt relieved and extremely happy. Hubby, your secretary Chen is really a discerning person. He can spot a talent like you. Maybe in the future, you will become a famous designer. Lin Cai suddenly said something for no reason. Zheng Zhi didn't notice a hint of worry in Lin Cai's eyes. Yeah, Secretary Chen is a nice person and pretty. I heard from Xie Chen that she got divorced not long ago. I really can't understand how Secretary Chen's husband could bear to do this. Zheng Zhi curled his lips, indicating that he couldn't understand. Are you heartbroken? It seems that Secretary Chen is quite charming. Are you tempted, husband? Lin Cai pretended to be displeased. Praising another woman in front of my wife is a big taboo. Zheng Zhi suddenly realized that he had said the wrong thing. Wife, I just think Secretary Chen is a nice person, don't get me wrong. Looking at Zheng Zhi's panic-stricken look, Lin Cai burst out laughing. Hubby, you look so scared. I don't know who you are. I'm just worried that Secretary Chen has something bad to do to you. Chapter 22, Exaggerated Pectoral Muscles. Plotting something bad. Impossible, right? Secretary Chen has a good career and good looks, how could she possibly have any plans against me? Zheng Zhi shook his head, thinking that his wife was worrying too much. If a woman as outstanding as Secretary Chen were looking for a man, she would be able to find any kind of man she wanted. How could he fall in love with me? However, my wife's concerns coincided with what Xie Qian said in the afternoon. Could it be that Secretary Chen is really interested in me? When I think of Secretary Chen's charming and revealing look in his office that afternoon, Zheng Zhi felt that his wife's worries were not unreasonable. However, he has no other intentions towards his wife, and no matter what Secretary Chen does, he just needs to do his best. Hubby, you don't know that some older women nowadays like little boys like you. Not only is she good looking, but the most important thing is that she has good physical fitness. No matter what, you must protect yourself. Lin Cai instructed seriously. Hearing this, Su Yan smiled, gently stroked Lin Cai's hair, and said softly, Wife, don't worry. I will never do anything I would regret. Lin Cai knew that Zheng Zhi wouldn't do that, but a mature woman like Secretary Chen was no ordinary woman. She'd better not do anything outrageous, otherwise she would be angry. Wife, you just said that mature women like little boys, and the main reason is that they have good physical fitness. Is this the reason you came to me in the first place? How do you know I have good physique? Do you want to try it? Zheng Zhi stared at Lin Cai with a wicked smile on his face, causing a blush to appear on Lin Cai's pretty cheeks. This little husband is so bad. I don't. Lin Cai sternly denied it. So you're not interested in your husband's strong body? I'll be alone in the future. Zheng Zhi had a face full of resentment, making it seem like a couple of infatuated men and women. I didn't say I wasn't interested. Lin Cai was anxious. She was also a normal woman, how could she not be interested? That means you are interested. How about my husband show you my exaggerated pectoral muscles now? As he spoke, Zheng Zhi lifted up his shirt. Lin Cai was so scared that she quickly covered her eyes with both hands, but her inner anxiety made her carefully avoid the gap. What comes into view is the strong, muscular skin, exuding strong male hormones. Lin Cai was stunned. Zheng Zhi looked quite thin, but she didn't expect that he had such a good foundation. She looks thin when she's dressed, but has muscles when she's undressed. Even though Lin Cai usually looked like a superior goddess, she was still fascinated by the scene at this moment. Zheng Zhi looked at Lin Cai's obsessed expression, and a Dragon King smile appeared on the corner of his mouth. Little guy, I don't believe I can't seduce you. Do you want to touch it? Zheng Zhi asked with a smile. Lin Cai pursed her red lips tightly together, wanting to take action but not daring to. Then, Zheng Zhi pulled Lin Cai's little hand and placed it on his muscles. The warm touch and the strong beating heart almost made Lin Cai sink. The clouds that had been gradually dispersing reappeared at this moment. For a moment, the atmosphere in the room became extremely ambiguous. Zheng Zhi's head leaned forward slightly and fell on those little red lips. Lin Cai felt like she got an electric shock. Her whole body tensed up and her slender arms involuntarily wrapped around Zheng Zhi's broad back. The garden is full of spring colors and the fragrance is everywhere. Lin Cai felt that her psychological defenses collapsed in that instant. Honey, can we go to the bedroom? Zheng Zhi naturally would not go against the beauty's wishes and gently picked her up. Walk towards the bedroom. The soft and comfortable big bed collapsed, reflecting two figures. In the quiet night, only the slightest gasping sound could be heard. Just when the two were about to break through their limits, Lin Cai's face turned pale again. I was sweating all over. Wife, you're sick again. Zheng Zhi looked worried and hurriedly gave Lin Cai some medicine. Only then did her complexion gradually improve. I was still too anxious. My wife is so weak, how could I have such a lustful mind? Almost killed my wife. Honey, I'm sorry. Zheng Zhi looked guilty. Hubby, I should be the one saying sorry. My health is too poor to fulfill my wifely duties. Lin Cai looked melancholy. She really wanted to be Zheng Zhi's woman, but her body was not good enough. Wife, this is not your fault. I will work twice as hard and take you abroad. I don't believe your illness can't be cured. Zheng Zhi looked solemn and vowed to cure Lin Cai. Hubby, it's great to have you. Lin Cai snuggled in Zheng Zhi's arms and then fell into a deep sleep. The next morning, after having breakfast and spending some time with Lin Cai, Zheng Zhi went to work. Now that he had made the decision, Zheng Zhi still felt that the sooner he entered the design department, the better. Adapt and learn in advance. Zheng Zhi had just arrived at the company and had not had time to look for Secretary Chen. He was stopped directly by Zhang Dahong. Xiao Zheng, what did Secretary Chen talk to you about yesterday? Zhang Dahong's face was full of curiosity. Based on his experience, he felt that things were not that simple. Manager Zhang, Secretary Chen just came to chat with me yesterday, and also asked me if I wanted to be transferred to the design department. Zheng Zhi told the truth. Hearing this, Zhang Dahong narrowed his eyes and frowned slightly. It shouldn't be like this. This is not in line with Secretary Chen's style. Xiao Zheng, you didn't lie to me. Zhang Dahong still found it a little unbelievable. Zheng Zhi nodded and said seriously, Manager Zhang, why would I lie to you? Zhang Dahong hummed and nodded, that's good. Xiao Zheng, I think you are a talented person and I don't want you to go astray. You might as well go to the design department. There are a lot of girls there. I advise you to try to have less contact with Secretary Chen in the future, otherwise you will regret it too late. At this moment, a cold voice suddenly sounded. Manager Zhang, what are you whispering to our sales staff so early in the morning? You're not going to say bad things about me to my employees, are you? When Mo Yao saw Zhang Dahong stealthily pulling Zheng Zhi to talk about something, her first reaction was that the other party still held a grudge against her. Say bad things about yourself. Seeing Mo Yao suddenly appear, Zhang Dahong snorted coldly and said, Manager Mo, you take yourself too seriously. I will never say anything bad about you even if I have nothing to do. I just want to discuss design ideas with Xiao Zheng. As he spoke, a smug smile appeared on Zhang Dahong's face. By the way, Manager Mo, Xiao Zheng will be transferred to the design department soon. Isn't it a bit inappropriate for you to say that he is your employee? Hearing Zhang Dahong's words, Mo Yao's face changed and then she looked at Zheng Zhi. It seemed like he was asking whether what Zhang Dahong said was true or false. Zheng Zhi gave a bitter smile. He originally wanted to go to the design department quietly. I never thought that it would not be possible. Manager Mo, I'm sorry, I wanted to tell you later. Chapter 23. Let us not mention it. Stop. Zheng Zhi, you are a popular person in the company now, I can't afford it. Mo Yao had a gloomy face and walked away, walking around Zheng Zhi and Zhang Dahong. This made Zheng Zhi look embarrassed. Zheng Zhi, don't bother with this woman. She has just been single for too long and has psychological problems. Zhang Dahong analyzed seriously. Zheng Zhi smiled bitterly. From now on, they would meet each other every day. He and Mo Yao had become enemies. After saying goodbye to Zhang Dahong, Zheng Zhi went directly to Chen Xuexin's office. Boom boom boom. Come in. Chen Xuexin's voice sounded distant, making people feel that she was difficult to approach. But when the door opened and Chen Xuexin saw Zheng Zhi, her originally serious expression suddenly changed. It ripples gently like a warm spring breeze. I was wondering why the magpie kept chirping this morning. It turned out that you, little brother Zheng Zhi, came to see me. Chen Xuexin's pair of charming eyes kept wandering over Zheng Zhi's body. Zheng Zhi even thought that he was dressed wrong. Secretary Chen. As soon as Zheng Zhi opened his mouth, he was interrupted by Chen Xuexin. Zheng Zhi, what did I tell you yesterday? When no one is around, just call me sister. How come you forgot so quickly? Chen Xuexin pouted her pink lips, with a hint of displeasure crossing her brows. Oh. Sister Chen, I'm still a little uncomfortable for a while. Zheng Zhi scratched the back of his head, his expression a little tense. I'll let you off this time, but if you forget again next time, I'll punish you. As she spoke, Chen Xuexin, whether intentionally or unintentionally, gently patted Zheng Zhi's butt with her slender palm. It gave him a shudder. This Secretary Chen actually started taking advantage of me. No wonder my wife told me that boys should protect themselves when they go out. By the way, did you find me and have already decided to transfer to the design department? Chen Xuexin seemed to be sure of victory. From the moment Zheng Zhi appeared, she knew that the other party had made up his mind. Yes, Sister Chen, I went home and thought about it, and decided to follow the company's arrangement and go to the design department. If he didn't think the salary in the design department was high, he would never have changed his position right after joining the company. He also offended Mo Yao. Okay, wait a minute, I'll arrange for HR to handle the transfer procedures for you. After a pause, Chen Xuexin smiled and said, don't feel any psychological burden. I know Mo Yao was a little dissatisfied with you just now. But in the company, when the boss is not around, I am the first person in charge. You just need to do your job well. If anyone makes you unhappy, just come to me. Zheng Zhi was stunned when he heard Chen Xuexin's words. He had just met Mo Yao. How come the news reached Secretary Chen's ears so quickly? Zheng Zhi discovered that this seemingly warm and gentle Secretary Chen was not that simple. After finishing their conversation, Zheng Zhi wanted to leave, but Chen Xuexin insisted on keeping him company. It would be fine if they just chatted, but there was always some physical contact by coincidence. This gave Zheng Zhi quite a headache. In the afternoon, Li Qian, the head of the Human Resources Department, brought Zheng Zhi to the design department. The design department is only a few hundred meters away from the president's office. It is said that the design department has no supervisor and was originally managed by the boss himself. Now that the boss is not in the company, the design department is in a state of disarray. Everyone stop. Li Qian clapped her hands, signaling everyone to stop what they were doing. Everyone turned their eyes to Li Qian and Zheng Zhi beside her. It was then that Zheng Zhi discovered that the design department was made up of only girls, not a single boy. He has now joined the design department and has become the only male in the department. I don't know if it's because there are no men in the design department, but when they saw Zheng Zhi, their eyes lit up. They kept looking at Zheng Zhi, full of curiosity. Zheng Zhi smiled bitterly in his heart, feeling as if he had entered the Pansidian cave. Let me introduce you to everyone. This is our new employee in the design department, Zheng Zhi. I'm sure everyone has heard in the past 2 days that a batch of goods from our company was returned by Mr. Huang. But a new employee saved the day. Not only did he solve the return problem, but he also helped Mr. Huang get another order. This outstanding new employee is Zheng Zhi. Wow! After Li Qian finished her introduction, the women present burst into exclamations of surprise. These products were designed by them after the boss left the company, and they thought they could make a big splash. Unexpectedly, the customer returned the goods in anger. This made the people in the design department feel very uneasy. When they learn about a new person's idea, the modified product delights customers and increases orders. They went to their site to check the modified products as soon as possible. They were really shocked. The bold design and the unrestrained materials directly shattered their three views. At the same time, it also opened up new ideas for them. As women of the new era, they did not think Zheng Zhi's design was obscene or shameless. It just makes me blush and my heart beats fast, and I have an urge to try it myself. Okay, I've brought the person here. I hope you can be nice to Zheng Zhi. Li Qian smiled and left the design department. If she wasn't too old and married, she would not have let go of a handsome and outstanding boy like Zheng Zhi. Hello everyone, I am Zheng Zhi, I hope you can give me your guidance. Before Zheng Zhi finished speaking, the women from the design department gathered around him. Zheng Zhi, how old are you? Zheng Zhi, do you have a girlfriend? Zheng Zhi, how many green bubbles do you have? For a moment, Zheng Zhi was surrounded by endless questions, feeling a mixture of pain and happiness. After finally getting rid of the troubles from my colleagues in the design department, Xie Qian's message appeared on my phone. I have something important to discuss with you. Come quickly. Zheng Zhi didn't think much about it and went straight to the logistics department to find Xie Qian. As soon as I entered the door, Xie Qian came towards me like a cat that smelled fish. Is it fun? Xie Qian's sudden question left Zheng Zhi confused. What's fun? Keep pretending. The design department is full of women, and you're the only man. Are you unhappy being surrounded by women? Xie Qian rolled his eyes, thinking that Zheng Zhi was showing off, but he couldn't find any evidence. Give it up. You don't know that 3 women can make a big scene, let alone a group of women. They have been making my head explode with noise for the whole afternoon. If this is happiness, he would rather not have it. Seeing Zheng Zhi's helpless expression, Xie Qian gritted his teeth. You really don't know how lucky you are. You don't know how many people in the company want to work in the design department. You're still troubled now. Being surrounded by a group of women makes me laugh just thinking about it. Xie Qian's eyes were filled with envy. Why is God so unfair? How is Xie Qian any worse than Zheng Zhi? As for appearance, let us not talk about it. As for height, let us not talk about it. As for talent, it's better not to mention it. Chapter 24: A Great Fortune. Since you are so interested in women, why don't you accept your family's arrangement and run away? Zheng Zhi asked curiously. Xie Qian behaves like a teddy bear. His eyes light up when he sees a woman. He is a total LSP. Arji, you don't understand. I long for the kind of passion where 2 people love each other and embrace each other. Rather than having physical contact with a woman I don't know, I'm pursuing a higher level of emotional needs. There was a hint of melancholy and confusion in Xie Qian's eyes, exactly the same as when he was in school and cried his heart out reading the painful literature and insisted on having a passionate love. Zheng Zhi shook his head helplessly, always feeling that Xie Qian was too idealistic. There is no such passionate love in the world, most of them are ordinary love that supports each other. Just like him and Lin Cai, they are not that high end. Everything just happens naturally. But, it's not a good idea to keep going like this. There are a lot of girls in our company. You can keep an eye on them. Then find someone to have a good talk with, and maybe you will feel empty, lonely and cold. Zheng Zhi felt that Xie Qian was just being pretentious, or that his body was secreting too much male hormones, and his strong right hand could no longer satisfy him. Go to hell, you're the one who's lonely, empty and cold. These girls in our company don't meet my mate requirements at all. I already have a goal to pursue. When talking about this goal, a hint of tenderness appeared in Xie Qian's eyes. Zheng Zhi felt that summer was sometimes quite divisive. When he heard that the design department he was in was full of girls, he was so envious that he almost drooled. They asked him to find one in the company, but then said the one in the company did not meet the requirements. Now suddenly another goal emerges. He didn't even know which of Xie Qian's words were true and which were false. So where did you meet this target of your pursuit? You stay in the company every day, do you still have time to go somewhere else to meet girls? Zheng Zhi asked jokingly. Even though Xie Qian seems careless, he manages the logistical work in perfect order. Normally I go straight back home after work and have no time to fall in love. You don't understand this, right? Who says love has to be offline? There can be true love online too. Xie Qian couldn't help but pout as she spoke, and she couldn't suppress the smile on the corners of her mouth. Online. Zheng Zhi thought he had heard it wrong and repeated it loudly. Yeah. Online, what's wrong? You're making such a fuss, you look like you've never seen the world before. Xie Qian curled her lips to show her dissatisfaction with Zheng Zhi. Xie Qian, as a brother, I fully support your relationship. But aren't you being a little too hasty in your online romance? There are many superficial relationships online now, claiming that they have a gambling father, a sick mother, a younger brother who goes to school, and a broken girlfriend. After gaining your sympathy, they will start asking you for money. Once their goal is achieved, they will block you and disappear without a trace. Don't let me see in the news that a man was cheated in an online relationship and lost faith in love and tried to commit suicide. Zheng Zhi always felt that online dating was unreliable, especially in the summer. Xie Qian didn't care and quickly defended himself. Zheng Zhi, if we talk about studying, I admit that you are a little better than me. But in terms of relationships, I've already graduated with a PhD, and you're still in kindergarten. When my brother was in school, he had at least 8 girlfriends, if not 10, and had a rich emotional life. As for you, you dated Li Wanting, and she dumped you. Brother, I'm not trying to hurt you. I just want to tell you that the person who wants to cheat on me emotionally hasn't been born yet. Xie Qian looked very confident, saying that he had a sharp eye and would never suffer any loss. This girl made me feel something I've never felt before. I felt like I had fallen. She is the love of my life. As he spoke, Xie Qian opened the green bubble, and an online name called Yao Kai Fairy appeared before his eyes. The other person's circle of friends is full of landscape photos, without a single personal photo. Zheng Zhi didn't know how Xie Qian figured out that this woman was the love of his life. Xie Qian, have you two met? No. Have you watched the video? No. It should be voiced, right? No. Zheng Zhi still felt it was unreliable, as the two of them were simply chatting via text. There was no voice chat, no video chat, no face-to-face meeting, just a few texts and they fell in love. It's better than the old man who gives the female anchor the minimum living allowance. At least I had a good time watching it. Okay Zheng Zhi, you don't have to persuade me anymore, my heart already belongs to her. Xie Qian's condition made Zheng Zhi want to call the mental hospital's hotline. Zheng Zhi still wanted to persuade Xie Qian, but the sudden ringing of the phone interrupted his road to redemption. Hey, Xie Qian, where are you? Come to my office. Okay, I'll be there right away. The person who called was Chen Xuexin. Zheng Zhi frowned. Why did Secretary Chen come to see him again? Xie Qian, who was standing by, became excited and stared at Zheng Zhi with a smile. Secretary Chen is looking for you again. Zheng Zhi, you are single anyway. Secretary Chen is very charming. If she wants to take advantage of you, you don't have to resist and just go along with her. I can still help my brothers then. Zheng Zhi rolled his eyes at Xie Qian. This kid wanted to let his brothers sacrifice themselves just to take off. Get lost. I, Zheng Zhi, am not that kind of person. Don't talk to me about this kind of topic in the future. If Secretary Chen finds out, you'll be in big trouble. This joke is fine if it's just for once, but if Xie Qian is not careful and Secretary Chen hears it, it will be a disaster. Look how scared you are. Let's talk among our brothers. Could it be that Secretary Chen has the ability to see and hear from afar? How could he know what we said? Xie Qian didn't take it seriously. He thought that no matter how capable Secretary Chen was, he couldn't possibly install surveillance cameras in his office as a support staff. That would be so much free time. Zheng Zhi originally wanted to tell Xie Qian that Secretary Chen knew about what happened between him and Mo Yao this morning in an instant. But he thought about it and decided to give up. It is better to have less trouble than more. Afterwards, Zheng Zhi rushed to Chen Xuexin's office. Chen, Sister Chen, what do you want to do? To be honest, Zheng Zhi heard these days that Secretary Chen usually doesn't let anyone else into her office. I've only been here for 2 days and I've already come 3 times. He himself felt that the number of times was a bit too much. Brother Zheng Zhi, it's not me who's looking for you. It's our big client, Mr. Huang, who wants to see you. Chen Xuexin said with a smile. Ever since Wang Yifar saw the product that had been modified according to Zheng Zhi's suggestions, he has been longing to meet this talented designer. Mr. Huang wants to see me. Zheng Zhi was stunned. He had learned about Mr. Huang in the past 2 days. Mr. Huang was a giant in the clothing sales industry. In addition to clothing distribution, the other party's industries are spread throughout Haicheng. But Mr. Huang doesn't have so many rules and regulations, and he is warm and generous. It would be a great fortune to get to know him. Chapter 25 Exclusive Agency. Don't worry. Even if I didn't have this relationship with you, I would definitely support this young man. I've been making clothes for so many years, but this is the first time I've seen such a wild idea. I, Mr. Huang, attach great importance to talents. But I didn't expect you to find such a young guy. I'm a little shocked. When Zheng Zhi and Chen Xuexin arrived at the place agreed with Mr. Huang was on the phone. So the two of them did not rush forward, but waited on the side. The place where Huang Yifar had an appointment was located at Tianhai Hotel in Haicheng. It is a 5-star hotel. The minimum consumption here is 5,888 yuan per person. In the past, Zheng Zhi never dared to hope to come to such a place. Looking at the magnificent decoration of Tianhai Hotel, Zheng Zhi secretly vowed in his heart that he must work hard to make money. I'll bring my wife over to spend some time there. About 10 minutes later, Wang Yifar finished the call and walked over with a slightly apologetic look on his face. Mr. Huang, long time no see. Chen Shuaxin was the first to extend her right hand, her face full of respect. Even though Chen Shuaxin, as the secretary to the president of Caixin Company, has a very high status, she still keeps a low profile in front of a big shot like Huang Yifar. After all, for a big shot like Huang Yifar, just knowing him is already an honorable thing. Oops. Secretary Chen, I'm so sorry. I just received a call and kept you waiting for a long time. Huang Yifar does not have the condescending attitude of a big shot. On the contrary, he is very peaceful and gives people the feeling of an older brother next door. Of course not. For a big shot like Mr. Huang, it's understandable that he's busy. As juniors, it's okay for us to wait for a while, Chen Shuaxin said with a smile. Huang Yifar has been deeply involved in the garment industry for many years, and his understanding and knowledge of garment making even surpass many experts. Calling someone senior is not considered flattery. If I'm guessing correctly, this is the young man in your company who has advanced ideas, right? Huang Yifar fixed his gaze on Zheng Zhi and kept looking at him. There was a look of satisfaction in his eyes. Hello Mr. Huang, I'm Zheng Zhi. Zheng Zhi also stretched out his right hand and shook hands with the other party. After a brief exchange, Huang Yifar's eyes never left Zheng Zhi. He felt uncomfortable being stared at. He even suspected that Mr. Huang had any special hobbies. Huang Yifar noticed Zheng Zhi's unnaturalness and realized that he was a bit abrupt. Then he smiled awkwardly and said, I have ordered a banquet, let's eat and talk at the same time. Afterwards, the three of them came to the private room, and the dishes had been served as soon as they entered. They were either abalone or lobster, some of which Zheng Zhi had never seen before, but he knew they must be very expensive. Mr. Huang, our boss is ill and the designers below us have little experience, so we are sorry for causing you trouble this time. This glass of wine, consider it my apology. Chen Shuaxin held the wine glass, expressed her apology, and then drank it all in one gulp. Zheng Zhi, who was sitting next to her, saw the full bottle of white wine being drunk by Chen Shuaxin in one gulp, and a look of surprise appeared on his face. Secretary Chen's alcohol tolerance is incredible. Let's not talk about the past. Didn't Xiaozheng make up for it for you this time? By the way, Xiaozheng, as far as I know, you have never been involved in the clothing industry before. How did you come up with such an outstanding method? Although I am an old hand in the garment industry, I find that in terms of creativity, I am just a rookie in front of Xiaozheng. Huang Yifar joked. Zheng Zhi was flattered by Huang Yifar's praise. When the two met for the first time, Mr. Huang kept praising himself. Even if his ideas were good, there was no need to do so. If you don't know, you might think he has some relationship with Huang Yifar. Mr. Huang, you are too modest. You are an expert in the clothing industry. I just got lucky. I still need to learn a lot from you. Even though Huang Yifar said so, Zheng Zhi still needs to know his own limitations and not act pretentiously in front of this big shot. Good. This young man is not only outstanding, but also humble. He will have great potential in the future. Xiaozheng, I heard from Secretary Chen that you are now in the design department. Do you have any new ideas to tell me? Let me open my eyes too. Ever since seeing the concept of erotic underwear proposed by Zheng Zhi, Huang Yifar has been eager to meet him. Listen to whether the other party has any new ideas or concepts. Although Huang Yifar is a humble person, this is the first time he thinks so highly of a young man. Chen Shuaxin, who was standing by, either because she was drunk or to please Huang Yifar, also joined in. Zheng Zhi, if you have any ideas, just say them directly, and let Mr. Huang give some suggestions. The atmosphere was so tense that Zheng Zhi would have to say something. So, he pondered for a moment. Zheng Zhi then said, Mr. Huang, I actually have an idea for a new product, but I'm not very familiar with the design at the moment. Just a rough idea. Zheng Zhi was afraid of appearing weak in front of the old expert, so he made some preparations in advance. Even if he doesn't say it well or says it wrong, the other party shouldn't laugh at him. Huang Yifar waved his hand and said, Don't worry, no epoch-making clothing is created overnight. They were all modified continuously before they were finally formed. Besides, it's just an idea. It's okay. Feel free to speak up. With Huang Yifar's encouragement, Zheng straightened his body. Then he told the story. My idea is that, in addition to being comfortable, the biggest purpose of buying pajamas for women is to show them to their boyfriends or husbands. Traditionally, pajamas are just for comfort, not for appearance. What we need to do is not only to increase visibility, but also to increase impact. What we make is not just a pair of pajamas, but also a bond to enhance the relationship between men and women. Zheng Zhi summarized his ideas in a simple and easy to understand manner, and also talked about his next new idea. Stepmother skirt. When Huang Yifar heard this term, some wonderful movies from the island country flashed through his mind. This is the design. After Zheng Zhi finished speaking, not only Huang Yi was stunned on the spot, but Chen Xuexin was also stunned. It can be said that the concept proposed by Zheng Zhi will bring epoch-making significance to the garment industry. Just imagine, a man and a woman are alone in a room, and the woman is wearing pajamas that are very visually impactful. Which man can stand it? The admiration in Huang Yifar's eyes became more and more intense at this moment, and he couldn't help but pull Zheng Zhi's hand. Xiao Zheng, no, brother Zheng Zhi, I have decided that as long as your company produces this stepmother skirt you mentioned, I will buy it all. From now on, I hope to be the exclusive agent of your Caixin company in Haicheng. Chapter 26, Being Taken Advantage of. After Huang Yifar finished speaking, Zheng Zhi was stunned. It was just an idea for him at the moment and he hadn't put it into practice yet. Mr. Huang is too careless. Mr. Huang, please don't worry. I just have a rough idea now, and it needs to be improved later. Zheng Zhi really regretted it now. He couldn't control his mouth and said a lot of things. Now, Huang Yifar actually wants to be the exclusive agent of Caixin company in Haicheng. If he fails to achieve the desired effect in design, he will become the sinner of the company. He wanted to persuade Huang Yifar to be more rational, but the other party was like a middle school student who was overwhelmed with passion. I, Huang Yifar, have made a firm decision. It's settled. Chen Xuexin was also quite shocked. She got such a big order from Huang Yifar just because she brought Zheng Zhi to have a meal. If it becomes Caixin's exclusive agent in Haicheng, then Caixin will never have to worry about selling its products in the future. Even breaking into the provincial capital is not impossible. Mr. Huang, on behalf of our Caixin company, thank you for your recognition. As she spoke, Chen Xuexin picked up another glass of wine and drank it in one gulp. The originally fair face turned extremely red at this moment. Don't thank me, thank the person who recruited brother Zheng Zhi to your company. I, Huang Yifar, am not bragging. I am certain that your Caixin company is about to take off. The meal lasted for 2 hours, and because Huang Yifar ordered too many dishes, a lot of good food was left over. Some didn't even pick up their chopsticks. Looking at so many good things, Zheng Zhi felt so distressed. After the banquet was over and after seeing Huang Yifar off, Zheng Zhi hurriedly packed up all the remaining dishes on the pretext of going to the toilet. Let my wife eat something good too. When Zheng Zhi came out happily carrying the packed vegetables, he happened to run into Chen Xuexin who was walking towards him. Zheng Zhi looked as embarrassed as if he was a primary school student who was caught skipping class by his teacher. Before Chen Xuexin could say anything, he eagerly explained, Secretary Chen, I just think it's a waste to have so many things left over, so. Before Zheng Zhi could finish his words, he was interrupted by Chen Xuexin. Look how anxious you are. I didn't say anything. Diligence and thrift are good qualities. There aren't many guys like you who know how to live. As Chen Xuexin was talking, she was probably drunk or something, and she fell directly into Zheng Zhi's arms. Zheng Zhi was caught off guard and nearly dropped the food he was packing on the ground. But his attention was all on the food, and he didn't even look at Chen Xuexin. Seeing that Zheng Zhi was busy packing meals, he was actually indifferent to such a delicate and beautiful woman like her. Chen Xue felt sour in her heart. What a fool! Sister Chen, are you okay? Zheng Zhi stared with his big eyes, and his eyes shone with the clarity unique to college students. No, it's okay. I might have drunk too much and feel a little dizzy. Chen Xuexin said that it was okay, but she had no intention of coming out of Zheng Zhi's arms. They even kept leaning into each other's arms. Sister Chen, you are too drunk to drive. I will call a designated driver for you. As he spoke, Zheng Zhi was about to take out his cell phone to call a designated driver, but was stopped by Chen Xuexin. I've drunk so much, what if I run into a designated driver with bad intentions? Why don't you take me back? Chen Xuexin narrowed her eyes slightly and observed Zheng Zhi's expression. But his eyes were always on the packed meal, while he was thinking about sending Chen Xuexin back. By then the food will be cold and my wife will have a stomachache if she eats it. If you don't want to, forget it. I can just drive it myself. As Chen Shuoxin spoke, she came out of Zheng Zhi's arms and staggered towards the car. Chen Shuoxin drank so much that she was barely conscious. If she drove back by herself, she would be looking for trouble. If you drive in an unsafe manner, your loved ones will shed tears. Zheng Zhi gritted his teeth and took a look at the food in his hand, thinking that if it didn't work, he would go back and heat it up for his wife. Sister Chen, wait a moment, I'll take you back. When Chen Shuoxin heard that Zheng Zhi was going to send her back, a smug smile appeared on her blushing cheeks. Little guy, I don't believe I can't control you. Zheng Zhi helped Chen Shuoxin to the back seat, but she refused to sit in the passenger seat and gave Zheng Zhi directions. Zheng Zhi was speechless. Even after being so drunk, he didn't even dare to walk the road she pointed out. There was no other way, so Zheng Zhi could only fulfill Chen Shuoxin's wish and let her sit in the passenger seat. Afterwards, Zheng Zhi placed the packed food securely on the back seat before starting the car. Sister Chen, where do you live? Let me give you the directions. Zheng Zhi still thinks navigation is more reliable. Exist. After getting the answer he wanted, Zheng Zhi entered the address into the navigation interface. Zheng Zhi just wanted to send the other person home as soon as possible and go back himself. In order to avoid his wife worrying if it was too late, he sent a message to Lin Cai before coming. I feel so dizzy. Chen Shuoxin's head fell gently on Zheng Zhi's shoulder, and her body fragrance mixed with alcohol produced a unique smell. It is so wild and bold. Sister Chen, please sit down. After Zheng Zhi straightened Chen Shuoxin, she lay down sideways again in a moment. This happened several times in a row, and finally Zheng Zhi had no choice but to let it go. Perhaps it was Zheng Zhi's helplessness that emboldened Chen Shuoxin. Her head turned sharply from Zheng Zhi's shoulder. It fell where little Zheng Zhi was. Zheng Zhi was so scared that he braked suddenly. Stop the car. Fortunately, there are not many cars here, otherwise there would definitely be an accident. Sister Chen, please sit down, otherwise when will we get home? Zheng Zhi felt a palpitation in his heart, and when Chen Shuoxin fell, his hands became a little restless. It made him feel like he was being taken advantage of. Chen Shuoxin, with his eyes slightly narrowed, always had a smile on his face. It's my ideal type. Not only is he handsome, but some of his special talents are also charming. About 20 minutes later, the car stopped downstairs of Chen Shuoxin's house. Sister Chen, we're at your house. Zheng Zhi kept calling Chen Shuoxin, hoping that she could wake up quickly as he was in a hurry to go home. But Chen Shuoxin seemed to have fallen asleep. No response at all. At this moment, Chen Shuoxin was thinking that if he didn't wake up, Zheng Zhi would have no choice but to carry him back. At that time, it would be natural for some unspeakable things to happen. However, Zheng Zhi's next move made her feel crazy. Is this the property management of XX community? Can you please have 2 housekeepers? Zheng Zhi called the property management directly. Chen Shuoxin lived in a high-end residential complex, and the property management provided attentive service. Soon, 2 uniformed housekeepers came to the front of the car. This is your landlord, she lives in. Please send her off for a while, I need to go home. Sir, please rest assured that our service is 5-star. As they spoke, the 2 housekeepers supported Chen Shuoxin on the left and right as they walked towards the elevator. Zheng Zhi did not forget the meal he packed. After getting the meal, he took a taxi and left. After Zheng Zhi left, Chen Shuoxin, who had been pretending to be asleep, woke up immediately. Looking at the extremely energetic Chen Shuoxin, the 2 housekeepers were bewildered. Who I am? Where am I? Miss. The housekeeper wanted to say something, but Chen Shuo said irritably, I can go home by myself. Now please leave immediately. For the first time, Chen Shuoxin hated the fact that she lived in a high-end neighborhood. At the same time, he was speechless about Zheng Zhi, the wooden fish. Am I not charming enough? Not pretty enough? The more Zheng Zhi acted like this, the more Chen Shuoxin's competitive spirit was aroused. Zheng Zhi, I don't believe I can't take you down. Chapter 27 Found a treasure. When I got home, it was already past 10 o'clock at night. Zheng Zhi thought Lin Cai had fallen asleep, so he closed the door gently and tiptoed in. If Secretary Chen had delayed him, he would have returned long ago to share a 5-star meal with his wife. Honey, you're back? A gentle voice suddenly sounded, and Zheng Zhi realized that Lin Cai had not slept yet. Instead, he sat on the sofa and waited for her. Seeing Lin Cai's slightly tired expression, Zheng Zhi felt distressed. It's all my fault. If I had come back earlier, my wife wouldn't have waited so long. Wife, it's so late, why haven't you gone to bed yet? Didn't I send you a message saying that I had to have dinner with a client today and asked you to go to bed early? After placing the packed food on the dining table, Zheng Zhi held Lin Cai in his arms. Lin Cai was like a docile little kitten, constantly rubbing against Zheng Zhi's arm. I just couldn't sleep because I was worried about you. Lin Cai said this and hugged Zheng Zhi tighter. She actually knew that the banquet had ended long ago, and since Zheng Zhi came back so late, Lin Cai didn't ask where he had gone. In fact, the banquet ended at around 7 o'clock. Our secretary Chen was drunk and insisted that I take her home. I couldn't persuade her, so I had to send her back. Zheng Zhi confessed honestly. He could have kept it to himself, but Zheng Zhi felt that as a couple, they should be honest with each other. There is not a single thing hidden. Perhaps fearing that Lin Cai might misunderstand, Zheng Zhi hurriedly continued, I just sent Secretary Chen downstairs. She wanted me to take her upstairs, but I thought of you, my wife, at home alone, so I directly contacted the property manager of their community to take her upstairs. Zheng Zhi praised his own wit. While on the road, Secretary Chen always took advantage of him intentionally or unintentionally. Regardless of whether the other party is unconscious or conscious, in order to avoid uncontrollable consequences. Zheng Zhi chose to stay out of it. After all, he is a family man now and he must be loyal to his wife. When Lin Cai heard that Zheng Zhi was sending Secretary Chen back, she felt a little sour in her heart. But I heard that Zheng Zhi actually asked the community manager to send Secretary Chen back. My originally gloomy mood suddenly brightened up. No woman would be indifferent to her man being with another woman. Lin Cai is no exception. Hubby, if Secretary Chen is really good, you can develop a relationship with her. My days with you are numbered, and you still have to have a family and children in the future. Lin Cai, leaning in Zheng Zhi's arms, said calmly. Although she enjoyed the feeling of being held in Zheng Zhi's arms, the time they spent together was limited after all. I can't be selfish. I wish there was a woman who could give Zheng Zhi a warm home. She will bless you. What's more, the two of them are married by agreement. Even though they have been very close to each other during this period, they are just like a real couple with a deep affection. Wife, what are you talking about? You are my wife. You are the only woman I will have. Why are you pushing me into the arms of another woman? Although we are couple by agreement, after spending some time together, I can't help but fall in love with you. Marrying you is the wisest decision I have ever made in my life. Don't say this kind of thing again, or I'll get angry. Zheng Zhi said seriously. Looking at Zheng Zhi's extremely serious expression, Lin Cai felt both happy and sad. Fortunately, my impulsive action actually helped me find my true love. What makes me sad is that my life is gradually slipping away, and these beautiful moments are becoming less and less. Seeing Lin Cai looking depressed, Zheng Zhi changed the subject. Honey, let me tell you, today we are going to the Qianhai Hotel for dinner. I have never been to such a luxurious place. Besides, the food there is not only beautiful, but also tastes amazing. The three of us can't eat that much, but Mr. Huang is like a reading machine, he serves whatever he clicks on. Look, there are a lot of dishes left over, I packed them all up and brought them back. Since you're still awake, let's have a candlelight dinner. Without waiting for Lin Cai to speak, Zheng Zhi got up and heated the packed food in the microwave. Some candles and a bottle of red wine were also prepared. When all the food was placed on the table, Zheng Zhi lit the candles. Snap! In the originally bright room, only the flickering candlelight remained. The tiny candlelight illuminated two handsome and beautiful faces. Zheng Zhi poured himself a glass of red wine. Because Lin Cai was sick, Zheng Zhi poured her a glass of water. But he was stopped by Lin Cai. Honey, I want a drink too, just one. In such a romantic scene, it would be so ruined if I just drank boiled water. Seeing Lin Cai's eager eyes, Zheng Zhi had no choice but to pour her half a cup. Wife, today I finally saw what it means to be drunk and indulge in luxury. I swear I will work hard to make money and take you to Qianhai Hotel for dinner instead of eating these leftovers. Thinking about how I was eating and drinking lavishly at Qianhai Hotel while my wife could only eat these leftovers. Zheng Zhi felt deeply sorry for her. It's okay, husband. It doesn't matter what I eat. The most important thing is to be with you. As Lin Cai spoke, she held Zheng Zhi's hand tightly, a sweet look on her face. I have been to Tianhai Hotel countless times and eaten the food there countless times. She didn't feel that surprised. But now, she was content to live in this small house with Zheng Zhi and eat leftovers. Cheers, wife. Hubby, cheers. The crisp sound of clinking glasses, like a symphony, rang out in the silent night. The two burning gazes collided, and the corners of their mouths rose slightly at the same time. The sweet red wine flowed down his mouth, and Zheng Zhi felt all the fatigue in his body was swept away. After the candlelight dinner, the two of them lay on the bed hugging each other tightly. The bell struck 12, but Lin Cai was not sleepy at all. Husband. I can tonight. Lin Cai's voice was as soft as a mosquito's hum, and every intimate contact between the two of them before had ended in failure. However, at this moment, a flame rose from Lin Cai's body, as if it was going to devour her. She wants to go crazy for once. No matter how painful it is, she will get through it. Zheng Zhi was stunned, thinking he was hallucinating. But then Lin Cai's little hand kept wandering on Zheng Zhi's chest, and finally took a sharp turn for the worse. Zheng Zhi's body suddenly tensed up, and his already energetic body erupted like a volcano. Honey, can you be a little gentler? My first time. Lin Cai's voice was so small that it was almost negligible, but it was still caught by Zheng Zhi. Zheng Zhi never expected that Lin Cai was 44 years old and still a virgin. He felt like he had found a treasure. Wife, don't worry. Zheng Zhi said softly.